Welcome again to the closing argument tonight. Today's Wednesday, the 21st of August. Wow, August will soon be out. Guys, welcome again to the closing argument. My name is Henry Peabody. We're going to be here today with you and bringing you news and views and what have you on what's happening, bringing the news from Liberia to you live on the closing acumen. We were very honored that the closing acumen was out there today. There was an interview with Honorable McGill going to meet the Liberia Anti-Corruption Committee (LACC), uh, uh, and the closing argument was live out there, guys. We are trying to make it happen, to bring the news from Liberia and what's happened in the U.S. as well. But welcome, man. Welcome. Our first person here today is Christian Roberts. Christian, it's always good to see you. It seemed like you took back your first place because you said nobody leaving you unturned, nobody leaving you behind. You are going to take over. Welcome, Christian. Welcome, Dossier Takab Morris. Welcome, James Kaiti, our regular member. James, welcome. Welcome, Odashi Shelton, watching from Think of Village. Thank you, my brother. Thank you for joining us. Uh, 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 you say I'm stationing a protest against the closing argument, Christian. No, don't do it, buddy. Just stay with us. But welcome back. Welcome, Miss Yamitro Asedu Mensa. Asedu Mensa. Watching up always from Minnesota. Good to see you. And we have Samuel and Ward Jr. watching from Lofa. I hope Lofa will control his emotion. Well, you gotta have it. You gotta have the show. You gotta have somebody. Everybody got their own way of reacting to things, but there's a lot happening. There's a report on one honorable Yega Sekwe. Say he was dispelling false claim that he was receiving money while at. Let me read this. Look, guys, it's just so much things happening. Corruption never ends. Never end in Liberia. You go from one end to another. It is corruption, corruption, corruption. Yes, put the newspaper up. Once you put it up, we can read it as well. But we got that there are report that said Yega Sekwe was employed in the uh, legislature by former Senator Cohn. Uh, he was later appointed operation manager at LPRC, but his legislative salary is still rolling, was still rolling. But well, for me, I mean, a young go, just keep sending me the check. Who want to refuse money, man? I don't know whether this uh the man took another position and they're still sending him money. So all you gotta do is send the money back, But you're still sending the man, so it means I didn't close that part, and still send the money back, that he was taking money. He's taking the salary from the legislature, and he's still and while working at operation manager LPRC. But then there's another story that he dispelled. So I want to be fair here. He There's another story that he said that it's false and misleading. The story is false and misleading, and so we're gonna read his statement when that come up. But guys, it's a lot happening today. Let me see here what he's saying here. Let's read Honorable Yeager respond. I understand that he was employed at the house, and then he got appointed as the operation manager of the Liberian Petroleum Refining Corporation. And then he was still getting both pay. He's getting, I mean, who refuse money? Uh, you know, getting 2,500 extra, is still rolling there with him. So, yeah, they say what backfire. So Yeke was employed in the legislature by Honorable Cohn, uh, was later appointed LPRC manager for operation, but his legislative salary is still rolling. Information available to us suggests that the civil servant director, Josiah Joker, deliberately left Yekesaya on the payroll while CSA recently conducted personal audit of the legislature. Well, you can't blame him if they still giving him the money, then you blame the civil servant. The legislature has also uncovered that the salary of one Gabriel Swain is still rolling, and Gabriel has been dead since February of this year. Wow. These two names were removed from the House payroll, but the CSA boss refused to honor the House decision, and is still paying these people. The House has also discovered additional 51 ghost names with five there that are being paid up to pay period, this present pay period. Wow. The House has also launched an investigation into the matter to establish who are those receiving the salary. Yeah, somebody on the outside is collecting the money. They're taking it and they're treating it, eating it for themselves. Somebody's collecting the money. So, but this is just breaking news, and we're looking forward to continue. Today the former Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, the Senator of Maygibi County, was invited, sent by the LECC. And it said lawyers who accompanied Senator Nathaniel McGill to the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission for questioning said the senator is immune from criminal persecution on the ground that he operated on presidential directive at the Ministry of State. So he's immune because he's operated by directive at the Ministry of State. So let me read this again. This is news that just coming in. This is from OKFM. They said the lawyers who accompanied Senator McGill to the LCC say he should not be persecuted for corruption because he operated on the ground that he operated on the directive of the president, so he can be. They said the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission on Wednesday questioned former Minister of State McGill, who stand accused of payroll paddling and other form of corruption during the regime of George Weah. But the lawyers of the senator, Councilor Serena Cephas, told reporter that his client cannot be persecuted once he acted on presidential directive while serving as Minister of State for Presidential Affairs. So we'll see what. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but we're going to see what's going to unfold here, what's going to happen after this whole investigation. There was a large crew out there today. The closing acumen were there, and there was demonstrators as well, supporters that turned up to give Honorable McGill all the support. So what happened? He went there, and his lawyer actually were there. Serena Cephas, you know the name Serena Cephas. Serena Cephas was also indicted not indicted, but he was also placed on the global Magnitsky sanction, and he's back in the picture. He's there. He's the lawyer now for McGill, Senator McGill, who was also placed on sanction. So you got the sanction man represented by a sanction lawyer. So this will be very interesting. But by the way, the president of Liberia has arrived in Atlanta, Georgia. President Bouaka has arrived, and I believe he will be speaking this weekend at a Black Business Forum in the city of Atlanta. So the president has arrived safely, and he will be in Atlanta, Georgia. So interesting things happening. But folks, we are back on this This corruption thing can never stop. It's a lot going on in the government. I see the check here of this guy receiving money. I mean, the civil servant should do their due diligence. Those responsible for issuing check from the legislature should have recorded that this guy has left, and they should have. You can't blame him because he probably didn't know. I mean, I'm not trying to take his side, but if I'm fired from a job and you're still sending me check, two things I can do: eat the money or return it. Take a return it. You're still sending me check. Maybe the other fees accompany it. It could be other fees. So on this one, other may have different views, but two things I can do: either take it and use it, or be a good steward by returning the money to the government and say, no, you're still sending me pay. Somebody was slow to stop that payroll. Somebody was slow to do something. So probably that's what happened. But yes, so yeah, there was a large turnout by supporter, and there were also the Liberian National Police on the ground to also calm things instead of any demonstration. But it's happening, guys. One thing that we have done, I'd like to tell you that the closing acumen now have a reporter in Liberia who will bring us a story live as they unfold. So be watching out. If you just made your way here, we want you to share the show, share it so others can see. But closing acumen is going strong, and we are expecting our other panelists. Some will join us today. I know some is traveling as well. Sylvester, okay, let me send this link to Sylvester. Yeah, but we looking forward, guys, to what's going to be a very exciting show here tonight on the closing acumen. Well, by the way, Mr. Madison Moe watching from Mr. Moe S. Madison watching from Bella Yada Camp 3. Oh, wow, that's good. Good, welcome, Madison. Welcome. Lofa, the man said he will pour in court or he will protest against us. So you better can't defend it now. CDC, Papi Success Keida, welcome as well. So, guys, as you make your way, share the show. It's a lot happening. Let's see here. This is from the Women Voice. This is crisis hit Liberia fishing industry. Sorry, crisis hit Liberia fishing industry. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll have to dig deeper into that and see what's happening. And then the other say government digital training program sparked attraction. So I believe the government is having a digital training program. I think everybody should be trained. Everybody working for the government, even in the school, they need to learn something when it comes to the digital world. I think Liberia is far behind. We have the Era News. What it says here, I can see clear. They say what real minister something. I can see that clear. I can't really. You guys got to zoom it in. It's a real minister something. I don't know what is that. I can't see it. It's a real minister goes to court this Friday. Church to rule on. I can't. I really can't. I mean, if you guys can zoom it up a little bit.
Keep screening your eyes, and then you'll not be able to show up tomorrow.
I know. Look, are you coming? Are you coming down here tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah. Tomorrow on Saturday, Friday, gonna have the funeral of a very, very young man, potential young man who graduated from high school, was accepted at Texas A&M University to play soccer. 18-year-old Evan Harris actually lost the battle to cancer.
Yeah.
and he died. 18-year-old young man. He was the only it was only child from his mother, Miss
Yeah.
Rose Joe, and he's going to be buried on Friday. Tomorrow's going to be a wake keeping, and it's very sad. Young potential. I wish I had him to
Yeah.
do it. Uh,
I
uh,
would definitely.
I
I
know.
would be there.
Okay.
I'm leaving. Hopefully by May Day tomorrow, so I can make the wake and then
Okay.
stay for the
Yeah,
funeral
I'll be at the wake.
and
Yep, I'm going to
and
be at the
everything.
wake.
Yeah, it's a
Actually, I'm
sad
going to be.
story, man. It's a sad
Yeah,
story.
very sad story. I was at the family home last night, and we're looking at some of his football pictures and some of his achievement, and it just broke my heart. Very young man, very,
Yeah, very, very,
very well, a
very
lot of
young.
potential, lot of potential,
Yeah,
and
and his mom.
unfortunately, cancer took his life.
Yeah, he was. I mean,
Sad.
he and his mom, man. You couldn't. I mean, this. I'm talking about, Rose Joy. I mean, it's just it's getting kind of hard for me to just pick up the phone and talk to Rose Joy because she could not have a conversation without mentioning her son,
Mm,
and they even together started something much more like Amazon in
right.
Liberia, right? Do delivery and stuff. Man, I mean this and smart kid. It's unfortunate that instead of
Yeah,
coming
I'm
to
trying to see if
celebrate
I
his
can.
graduation, we are coming out there to to say farewell to him and celebrate his life on earth.
Yeah,
Yeah, we just got to
he was
keep Rose Joy in our prayer.
he was looking forward to go to college. He was
Yeah,
looking forward to play football,
yeah,
and he just got sick as the result of cancer, and and he just couldn't make it. Guys, I'm sending you guys the photo of little Ephraim that's going to be buried.
and Sylvester, I also did send you uh the link. You were in the wrong chat earlier, so but check your messenger. I just sent it to you as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
the guys at Truth FM, if you're there, please put the photo up. I just sent it to you.
You
Uh,
sent
uh, uh,
it? Okay. Let me see
I,
if I have it in
I sent it
here. I
to
can.
FM. You want me to send it to you, Lofa?
Oh no,
Okay.
I should be. If you put it, did you put it in the True FM chat room?
Yes, I just put it there right
All right,
now.
I got it.
Right now.
I got it. I will be able
Yeah.
to zoom it in here. I will share it. Um,
So
yeah, let me go ahead and let me do that right now. And while I'm trying to do that, let me acknowledge Christian Robert. Christian is actually protesting today for the fact that we are yet to change the the flyer. He said the flyer reference folks who are no longer on the show. So he's
yeah, we need
protesting.
to do that. We need
So
to.
yeah, we definitely need to do that.
We need to.
And so that's
We
why
need
I
to put
hopped on
up.
here really quick. I was
Yeah.
actually still in the middle of a few things at work, but I
Mm,
said, let me come and address Christian's concern. He has a
yeah.
legitimate concern,
Yeah.
but we just letting you know that we are
Let's
working on it.
yeah, plan to have a meeting after the show today.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Christian has a legitimate concern, and we will definitely address it. Um,
Yeah.
so I don't know if you guys can
Yeah.
see. This is
This is the picture of
this is
young Ephraim.
young Efren.
Ephraim Harrods,
Yeah,
the late. You know, Ephraim just graduated from high school this year,
yeah,
and he had been battering cancer. And he lost a battle. He just was accepted in Texas A&M University to play football. Great football player. Uh, Good kid. Very respectful. Very lovely. No trouble. You know,
nothing,
no
nothing.
trouble. The only son. The only son from his mother. Uh, and Ephraim lost the battle to cancer. He just couldn't take it no more. It was too
Yeah,
much going on with him, and just couldn't do it no more. And he passed, and he'll be buried this Friday.
yeah. So yeah, we'll be
Tomorrow
there.
it will be the wake.
Dr. Peabody, I'll be in your state.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna connect tomorrow. He's gonna go to the wake, and Lufi's coming, and we're gonna go there tomorrow. I'm very, very close to the family. Very, very close. I've been there all week. I've been going there almost every day since he passed, and I was there
Wow,
last
thank you.
night again. Uh, uh, I've known the mother for a very long time since she was young, uh, and it's really sad. I saw this kid growing, and I was so proud of him. Every time he plays football, and I see him with his mom, and like this dude gonna be our NFL player. He had the bill because what tall, huge man
Hmm.
had the bill, and the cold hands of death took him away. So to the family, let me say my thoughts and prayers and best wishes are always with you. Always. It can be very difficult, and God speaks. God will be with them, and God will take care of them. Uh, so
Yeah. So, Dak, I know now that Pee Wee is on here with you guys, I'm gonna step off a little bit, but I'll be right back though. I'll join you guys
okay,
shortly. All right.
all right,
All right.
buddy. All right. To the family, yeah. So the Rose Joe and the rest of the family, we praying for you, and God will be with you. God will guide you. Amen. Honorable, Honorable Sylvester Pee Wee, former Assistant Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Still a lot of you going outside.
Uh, I mean, we got to recognize our former government officials. Some people they respect the former leaders, people who serve. Uh, uh, Grace says she doesn't have the link. Let me see what I can get out of Grace. I thought this was placed in there. But would like to welcome the former Assistant Minister of Foreign Affairs for Africa Asian Affairs Minister Sylvester. Uh,
No.
uh, Honorable Sylvester K. Pee Wee. This man a big man. I don't see him, so you see how Sylvester. Sylvester is our chief political analyst. He's a student of government, and he knows exactly when it comes to the government of Liberia and the function. He knows everything. So it's somebody to really listen to, somebody to learn from. I learned from him. I've been working government. I didn't study anything about government. I just read a little bit, but Sylvester know a lot about government and how government runs and the foreign services and all of that. Sylvester is a champion when it comes to that area. So hopefully, uh, uh, Grace, I'm sending a link now. Please see whether that work. So yeah, great. That should work for you. The link work. So yeah, that should work, Grace. So yes, well, Sylvester, welcome.
Thank
The
you.
news are trending. Firstly, the former Minister of State uh, for Presidential Affairs, Honorable Nathaniel Fallow McGill, was invited by the LTA today, and his lawyer, Councilor Serena Cephas, stated that uh, he acted everything that he did. He acted at the request of the president of Liberia, his boss. So he should not be charged criminally for anything of that matter. So I want to hear your import. Councilor Cephas say his lawyer acted the
So hey, Klein.
yeah. Oh
Okay.
yeah, he client. Yes, I'm doing two things here, so that's
Yeah.
why. But you say client acted uh, on orders from his boss, which is the president of Liberia, President George Manawia. So
Yes,
dive
but
into it.
again, we will have to. I don't know if that statement is actually coming from McGinn's lawyer. We have to also verify if it is true because
I
I
did
listened today.
verify from OKFM.
Yeah, I listened today to during the when the process was unfolding, when they were leaving the LACC, I think the media jumped into them to conduct what we would refer to as some impromptu press conference. And Councillor Cephas was then heard in the vehicle saying that he went there with his friend. He didn't consider himself the lawyer. He said he accompanied his friend.
Okay.
They asked him, he said, "Are you the lawyer?" And for his own statement, he's definitely stated that he just escorted his friend for the hearing. So he didn't consider himself the lawyer. That's the reason why I'm saying we needed to verify this position if this statement is actually coming from him as a lawyer. Another thing again, if it is true that this statement is what the counselor is saying, that and first and foremost, let me state here, it's not a wrong thing for folks to be invited for this kind of thing, because the LACC was created by an act of legislation, right? To conduct. It's not an audit institution. It's a corruption investigative body meant to investigate certain questionable act or suspicious act in the governance space. So if they invite you, their invite is legit. I thought it was very wonderful today for the former Minister of State and the former chairman of the CDC, former Minister of State and current senator, to respond to the invite by going to adhere to the call. That was a very good thing. But again, if the statement coming out of the statement you just read, if it is true, and I love to be very careful in these things because these are very fluid and very delicate circumstances in terms of what statement will be made, and they have to be proven in court, because at the end of the day, these things will end in court. But if it is true, the statement coming out of what you read is true, that it was a decision, instruction from his boss, is a little bit troubling from my end, because there have been a precedent set on this matter already in our court system. We have to recall here, and that precedent was on the former Minister of Defense, if you recall, on the military folks' money, when he said it was an instruction coming from the former president, and he was still prosecuted and found liable, and he was convicted by that, found guilty of such matter. It was lit that President Weah did pardon him when he was leaving office. So we have to be, because the court set a precedent already, that instruction coming from the president to any of his lieutenant, that person will have to understand his or her fiduciary responsibility. Meaning, if the president told you to do something that is wrong, I'm speaking from the perspective of the last case. If it is wrong, the president instructed me to do as a government official, I should read between the lines to say, Mr. President, this is wrong. Because anything that will be implemented by you, any order from the president that will be implemented by you according to what the court said, and if that is against the law of Liberia or violating the law of Liberia, you will be held liable. So that's what I said to you just now, that we needed to first and foremost verify if that statement is absolutely true. If it is true, then it's troubling, because if the decision to do that was not right and you did, you're going to bear the pinch of those things, the circumstances and all of those things behind it will come. And that is a precedent set now by the court. And the Supreme Court did handle the same matter. It went through the criminal court, and the judge ruled on that. And Minister Samuka and his team took an appeal to the Supreme Court, and the court acted in said direction that the president instruction is not law. The president instructions cannot. It can also be challenged if those instructions are violating the laws of Liberia. So we have to take key attention to that process. And those folks representing the minister himself will have to be very careful as to how they push the case. But however, I'm not bringing a position on this matter. I'm just speaking in terms of trying to reference the past case. But it's a very delicate case, and I thought it was right today that the minister term in for the preliminary investigation. We look forward to the details coming out of this issue. That's what we need to verify first and foremost if that statement came from Sima Serena Cephas.
What I read that on the OKFM website. So
yeah,
they actually posted that. So I'm not sure, but I knowing them to be very credible. So there are a few newspaper news group that I really follow. Front Page Africa, OKFM. So when it polls, I always follow on the stuff, So, Chris, welcome back. We didn't see you for what, 2 days or so? Welcome
Yeah,
back.
man. Yeah, thank you
See,
very
how was
much.
that? You had a luxury weekend. How was it? You were going to the spa and nail. I'm not spa and massage place.
How you can come tell me that when you always going? You always going and having fun. I just had a little bit of eating. You say, oh, this,
I see why you coming back looking so bright, shining,
oh
sharp.
Lord.
Yes. I mean, sometimes
Well,
you won't agree with me. Look out, Grace. Huh?
yeah, I had a nice time. You know, it's good for the ladies to take care of themselves. That's what I did. So you know, you and people can give your wife your wife's gift certificate to go and do that. It's a weekend. I will recommend that place to you so you can send the gift certificate, get a gift certificate and send it to your wife there.
I think that recommendation will be considered 100%.
Oh yeah,
Thank you.
always
Yeah,
consider.
because the result looked very excellent and splendid.
Yeah, you can
Oh
see
Lord
how.
Jesus. I think I will scream because I know.
No, they're
What
not
size?
extreme. It will even add a result, and then we'll say extraordinarily splendid.
God,
But
you
the
have to
result
put
is
this down a
perfect.
little bit because I
It's
don't
not
know
a
what.
stream. There's not a stream thing because the camera is clear. Yeah, it's not stream. Is the result is splendid actually. Yeah.
Oh well, yeah, thanks
Yeah.
anyway. Well, thank you for having me today. Yeah, I'm back. I miss you guys. For the people out there that's watching us and also listening to us on in Liberia on air, I say welcome to the closing argument. My name is Grace Guar. I am an independent free thinker on this platform, a Liberian woman, and I'm happy to be here. But you know, the discussion about listening to people, he was saying that he was highly, you know, I don't know which word to use. He really appreciated. Let me say that. If I'm wrong, you can correct me. Um, the way that Miguel went, you know, as he was, you know, asked to go to the LACC, he appeared. So I wanted to ask you quickly before I get into my thoughts. What do you mean? Wasn't he? He's not supposed to appear, or he could choose not to appear because I don't know the laws that govern that. Yeah, people, if you can answer me.
I'm basically trying to say is the process of the rule of law, right? If
Mm.
you are invited via the process of the rule of law and you responded in a way, you didn't say, "Oh, no, I'm not doing them." There are certain politicians will pull a bluff. They will do what we refer to as the scare tactics, and they will buy some time out. But no, he didn't. He immediately honored the letter and he went there. That's what I'm saying. If there don't be an approach, or we want to put people to demonstrate and do things and what have you, right? So yes, I commended him because he responded to the process about the democracy. He was invited via the rule of law. He honored the invitation. He went with, I don't know, his lawyer or some friends, but lawyer went with him. But the lawyer said he went as a friend. But that's why we're trying to commend him for the fact that he honored that. Before, Grace, so other people would try to bluff around. Other people would try to buy time. But he responded expeditiously, and that's the kind of a way we want to see how people respond in the democracy. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
like
I
how
mean,
he went about it.
honestly, I just wanted to clarity on the
Yeah.
and it was the right thing for him to do. You know,
Yes.
like where's a law-abiding country.
Exactly.
So when the government or the system asks you to come, you need to come and show face. Unlike Samuel Tuel, who now is a fugitive, we still cannot see him to present himself for investigation. But I actually wanted Henry to play that stuff he had on the screen because that's how I want to introduce myself tonight, you know, on the
Okay,
platform.
okay.
Yeah, so Henry, bring that stuff up and play it. I wanted like bring people to listen to this so they can then I can come back and just say maybe 30 seconds.
Another suggestion which is topical. Another suggestion which is topical that's caused some controversy is I actually think we need lifestyle audits. I was Solicitor General. I worked as Attorney General. Why should I be afraid of being checked if I didn't steal? I should be asked what I have, how I got it, and when I tell you that it's from allowances, I should prove that. If I tell you I have businesses, let me show the businesses, but I should also show what tax I paid. We must all account for the wealth we have. Otherwise, don't go into public service. I have heard some rebuttals about this lifestyle audit issue and saying everyone should then do it. We can't target people. Does everyone handle public money? Those of us who choose to enter these public offices should be open to accountability. When you are in public office, you are not a private person. There's no privacy. If you drive a Range Rover, we want to know where you got the money. Because you are in public office. If you wear a Rolex, we want to know where you got the money. Otherwise, you don't qualify to serve, and you shouldn't serve in those offices. And that would be true no matter which party came into power. Progressive organizations do at lifestyle audits. I don't know. You can't become a millionaire out of serving in government. How have you done it? How have you done it without abusing your position? If people want to be business people, go and do business. If you want to serve the people, serve the people.
It's funny because just a week ago, I had the minister responsible for Lusaka, Honorable Bowman Nsambo. I asked him a very good question. I asked him where he's gotten all his money from. I asked him if he's involved in some form of baiting. He said, no, I do work, and the money that government gives me is enough for me to spend.
Ask him for his payslip. That payslip is public. You are a journalist, go on Bowman or someone, ask him for his payslip. You are entitled. He's serving you, the people. Seek for that information and check. Go and get my payslip. I can give you the payslip I was getting. I don't think I ever got anything more than 30,000 kwacha as a net salary in that office.
Probably maybe ministers get something way beyond that.
Where?
You can tell
as Attorney General, I was serving in cabinet. Ask the ministers who are telling you they are being paid enough to give you their pay slips. You cannot become a millionaire from working in government. Let's be serious. We are serving people who are exchanging. Some are eating today at lunchtime, others are eating tomorrow. People are dying in this country. You cannot start pillaging national resources and then you even fool the people in the manner that you are being taught. There is no government salary that can make you a millionaire. There is no, you will live, yes. Okay, you can get a loan here and there. But certainly you can't become a super millionaire. That is for business people. That is why the normal government service, when I was in government, I didn't buy a brand new car. I didn't even buy a brand new car for my wife. The records are there, they can come and check. I didn't. I drove my GRZ car all 3 years. But I had been buying brand new cars before. From where I came from, out of my private business, before I ever served in government, I was buying brand new cars from the showroom. The 3 years I worked in government, I never bought a brand new car. Another suggestion, which is topical.
You can move it now, Henry. Yeah. I wanted to play that my 30 seconds. I just wanted that to be out there that although some of us have different ideas and disagree with how the government is proceeding, we are not against the government holding people accountable for the time they serve in government and having some strange, access and money in the bank account. So for me, I stand with this government, and I want full accountability as a Liberian citizen who pay taxes in Liberia. I want full accountability of every government employee, and it's a shame that up to now, most of them have not published their assets. Some of them became millionaires. They were never business people. So we want to know how they got their money, because as you can see, even politicians in other countries now telling us that there is no way you serve in public service and become a millionaire. And especially from the last government to this government, some of them became millionaires in 6 years. And I'm happy that the government was able to somehow Natalia McGill, who became automatically rich in the country. We want to know how these people got their money. We want Joseph Boakai government to continue to push because some of our people are going to bed hungry every night. Thank you.
Yeah, Tomalin George, welcome. I'll turn it back to you, Tomalin. It's a lot happening. We're talking about the McGill case where he was invited. Great, that video was powerful, very very powerful. But you're saying it to somebody who can even the person who's saying it can think, and the people can change. But we're showing it the people who can't think and who will not change. Do the same thing over and over. But too many.
Well, it's good to be back, man. I want to welcome everyone. We live on Truth FM, Hot FM, and we are on several stations across the country. And on YouTube, and Facebook, our page, we carry it live. You can share on your page, share in your chat rooms. But I've been following the conversation, and Grace, that video was very powerful. But again, I always say the problem we face in our country is that we just not ready. Only the leadership in Liberia can change that country. If you can have first of all, the legislature cannot change the country. They lack the will to do it. They won't do it. We had a lady here yesterday. Most of the people that suppressing Liberian employees are in the legislature. They're the ones. They visit the concession areas, and they go there and they take care of them good. And that's not being an age-old problem. From the Samuel Dota and you name it. You guys will go on a plantation, go to this company, you put in the guest house, they eat good food, they give them gas, take care of them good, get an envelope, and they come back to town. And the poor workers there continue to be suppressed. So until you can get a president who will be very rigid, we have that problem all the time. But again, as you say, you have an election today or tomorrow, you end up with the same results. And Mr. Cummings said, you keep doing the same thing and having the same results. I mean, it's a joke. So all we can do, make the alarm and say it and so forth. Like I was telling someone, some lawyers already told me that all these correction cases they're talking about, they're not going to go nowhere. Because, I mean, the only thing may happen, you may drag the people to court, handcuff them, parade them in the streets, and just to embarrass them. But at the end of the day, when they go to court, they file a bond, and they go to the nitty-gritty of these cases, and it'll be hard to prove because you see some of the checks they're talking about. The check is in people's name who you expect to be in people's name, but yeah, and you cannot trace, if even they give that money to Tomalin George, once that check was in the name of Chuchu Jones, that Chuchu Jones got to talk. He can tell the people, say, I give the money to Tomalin George, I carry a check, get to Tomalin George. Not fly. Nothing going to happen. Because even, I think people are reading something about McGill's case. And honestly, I think there's a law that protects the president of the country when in office. And so you have, except upon proven criminal misconduct, which I know you can never come out. I've not seen no evidence to link the former president and that stuff. People just throw these things and say, "Oh yeah, he did it," but you cannot. I've not seen it. If you have it, you'll bring it. I've not seen it say, "Oh yeah, there's evidence that the former president or involved in this thing or was signed this document, signed this check." I've not seen it. So, and then especially so when it comes to national security, so you say it was not for security operation, covert. You can't go and explain it. So maybe the UP will just show the people that they follow through the campaign promises they made. They say, yeah, we told you we're going to go after people, we're going to audit, and we're going to bring people to court. But I really want to see whether they win these cases they come out with, honestly. But look, they have a good show, and let's make this show the best. Let's keep on making every show the best. So, guys, let's rock and roll.
Alex Chuchu John, just join us, man. Welcome.
Thank
Mr.
you.
President 2029. Say you run to be president, right? Am I right?
Yeah, I want to stop corruption in our country. Man. It's good to see you guys.
Mayor first in one of those villages in
Sylvester, just let me talk here, okay? Because I know you're defender of the corrupt people. So again, Lofa, Grace, the bold and beautiful Grace, it's good to see you as always. All right. But my take on this is that I'm a big proponent of, charity begins at home and ends abroad. It's fine to go after members of the CDC government for any crime they're suspected of. But here's my issue. My issue here is that the Joseph Boakai government over the last 6 months, there have been a lot of improprieties. And they're all public. They're all documented. They're in the newspapers. Even just recently, the press secretary were involved in another scandal where monies were paid to her for journalists that did not receive it. Now, is that not corruption? Is the anti-corruption investigating her? We saw loans that were taken by the FPRC boss, and I think even the national police, that were not authorized by the legislator. Is that not corruption? Is that not breaking the law? Or the only law that we respect in Liberia is the 10 years clause? All the other laws, they're not relevant. So when I see the Joseph Boakai government vigorously, going after those who they're alleging to have committed crimes, that's fine. But when I don't see a single member in this corrupt government, all right, have ever been even investigated over the last 6 months, then I have a problem with that. Because it's obvious. We saw even monies paid to a representative after the election. Where did that money come from? Is that not corruption too? Who the hell is the LCC boss? So you can't cherry pick, where wrong you want to point out, and prosecute. So that is, it's just a masquerade, it's a joke. If any government has been corrupted in the last 6 months, it's the Unity Party government. The private jet situation, I'm reading the code of conduct, which states that nobody should receive more than $200 in gift for anybody. Is that not corruption when the president or the vice president uses a business person plane to travel? Why write the law if you're not going to follow it? So as far as I'm concerned, it's business as usual. And justice cannot be selective. You cannot pick and choose who you want, just like even the audits. The audit commission falls under the legislature. Okay, the president cannot order an independent branch to go and audit certain groups of people. Okay, that's all stepping over your power. They have the ability to. That's why it's a commission. They decide in what order and who to audit. When you hear the president saying, "Oh, I'm going to go audit the central bank president," and I'm not a fan of any one of these people, as far as I'm concerned. When and if we get a good president like Liberia, most of these people will be in jail. And that day will come someday. That day will come. Because there's no way, like the video, or watching the video, that you can become a millionaire while serving in government. You have expensive. Marty Curry was here. This man who just graduated few years ago can build a huge, 3-4 level house, right? And claim that, he been working for UN and been working for, that's where he got his money from. Was he not vetted before that appointment of serving on the what do you call it, asset recovery team? So I mean, I can go on and go on, but as far as I know, the government is very corrupt, both the current and the previous government, and it's time for change in Liberia. And so those two governments, wherever they do among themselves, how they destroy each other, because that's what's going to happen. And they, like you said, Amara Kone, there's a man who the Transparency International did an investigation that tied him to receiving bribe. Okay, the reports are
okay,
there.
Other people are telling going long, so make it short. Go ahead.
So maybe when I count all your guys, some of your friends there, But look,
you
so
probably
outside
Latino,
there,
all kind of Latino.
I think
Ain't gonna call it
think
his nick. They may not get more general.
Jaya,
Just call it
either Dutchman,
yeah.
multiple
That call it his
I
nick.
think they are all corrupt, and you can't punish one and not punish the other. That's
Thank
the
you.
official position.
Thank you.
Okay, Chairman Ben, welcome. Give me a minute, and I'm trying to call you up, but we coming. We'll get there.
That's
Hold
okay.
that talk. Hold your
That's
talk.
okay. That's okay.
The boy that is talk. He get to fire.
That's okay. I'm sure I made my point.
What don't have me again? What we talking about? No. Well, it's good to be here. It's good to be here. I know we're discussing a bunch of things. I mean, we're not talking about the issues here, right? Just the intro, Peabody.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to be here. To contribute our own little quota to the discussion. Another day, another Liberia, up and down. We keep it moving. When the topics are announced, we'll be able to chime in. I have some interesting thoughts on some of the things that are happening, and my thoughts are, like I say, it is what it is. But yeah, it's good to be here, guys. It's good to be here. I look forward to a very fruitful and a fascinating show.
All right, guys.
Alex, you see that how you do it? Alex, you see that how you do an intro? Very short.
Lofa is out, so we will jump right into this. We actually started. Let's start on with we had that topic. Senator McGill being invited by LACC, and there was a mixed story from his friend or his lawyer, Serena Cephas. We read something on OKFM that stated that he said that he should not be indicted on any criminal charges because everything he did, he acted on the orders of his boss. Which I think I don't tend to believe that, because for a lawyer to just come out and say, it's almost like you're admitting if he did it, then he acted almost like he admitting to the charges or whatever. So I don't know how true that is, but I read that on Closing Argument. So Ben, since you just came, we'll begin with you, and then we'll go to Sylvester and Grace, and then we'll jump to the next topic. So,
wait, you said Serena said that
according to OKFM,
mm-hmm.
that Serena stated that his client or his friend, Senator McGill, should not be indicted on any criminal charges because if anything he did or he acted on any decision, it was all on the orders of his
boss,
which is President.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know if
I don't believe that story.
So I don't know if he said that. I would not want to believe that he would say something like that, mm-hmm. because it doesn't. That would not fly. Let's put it that way, right? The president would not go tell you to go and murder somebody, and you go and murder the person. Or the president will not tell you to go to the central bank and go empty the vault, and you say, "Oh yeah, Mr. President, because you're the president, you told me to go empty the vault." So I don't want to believe he said that. I believe Serena is a very smart lawyer. I think he knows his craft. So I'm not gonna. I don't want to dwell on that. What I will talk about is the fact that the senator did appear at the LACC, which was the right thing to do. He was called. He was invited to come and provide clarity. I read the invitation. The invitation did not say that he was under arrest. The invitation did not say that there was an indictment for him. They said they wanted his assistance in, to, I guess, answering questions in relation to the alleged payroll paddling. So he went there today. Look, one of the other things that I find fascinating is every time these things are happening, then you see partisans go there with drums and create a scene. You saw it happen, during the Unity Party years when Vani Sherman and Alex Tyler then was indicted by the grand jury for the Global Witness thing. You saw partisans and leaders of the Unity Party, who, by the way, right now are senior officials of government, go there to show support. Yes, there are political people. McGill is the chair of the CDC Legislative Caucus. He's the former chairman of the CDC. So maybe that's the reason why he had. If I was him, I probably would have done it without all the fanfare. But you never know people's intention, inspirations for things that are happening. So let's wait and see. I don't want to preempt whatever the investigation is. I think the LSCC is investigating. The fact that the LSCC is investigating, let them go ahead and investigate. And whatever whatever decision or whatever the outcome of the investigation will be, we wait to see what it is. Would it lead to indictments? Let's wait to see. Will it lead to to more investigation and more questions being asked? We will wait to see. But I think he did the right thing, submitting himself to the process. That is what an honorable citizen will do. Nobody is above the law in the country. The LSCC is a statutory functionary of our government that is responsible for investigating and being a watchdog in our society over our governance space when it comes to the issue of corruption. So when they invite you, I think you do the dutiful, and you go and you submit yourself to the process. They did ask for him to take legal counsel, which he did. So I think the process went well today. Let's wait and see what happens, and then we'll be able to form more substantive opinions and speak more from a position of strength once the information is provided. But as it stands today, it was just a mere invitation. We'll wait to hear what the outcome of the investigation will be.
All right. Who next?
Yes. So to just a few points, I'll just try to, I don't know, it's an amendment of my first statement or so, but yes, the past ruling coming off of Josh Yami Bese, I think from the Criminal Court C, on the case relative to the former defense minister, or referencing to the issue as you're quoting, the judge was very clear. The judge said part of the reason why he did not subpoena the former president was that there was no written documentation instructing the former Minister of Defense to use the pension money of the AFL folks. And that's what the judge indicated. Now, if again, it is true that what you quoted from OK News, coming out of OK News, is true, that the lawyers said that the former minister was acting on the order of his boss, the president, because the president is mute to certain instructional process in terms of our law. That is written. It's a written communication instructing the Minister of State for Presidential Affairs to do certain things. I think they may have some justification in the court. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not going to pretend to be one. But the past judge indicated clearly, but Judge basically indicated that the reason why he didn't listen to the lawyer of the former defense minister, because there was no written instruction from the president. It was just what we call in liberal gentleman agreement. The president instructed me to do verbal instructions, and that the judge didn't take lightly and was part of that. And also, but the Supreme Court, when they went to the Supreme Court opined on that matter and were very clear. The Supreme Court indicated again that public officials should have their own fiduciary responsibility to the country, meaning they will have to account for what they do. But I believe that if there's written or other thing, the court will decide on this matter. If they were going to go to court, if this matter, the investigative process will decide if they will have to move to prosecution, depending on the reason they invited the former minister for. But again, his friend, he called himself friend today. He didn't call himself lawyer. I listened to himself. He said there's no case. And he's one of those very good criminal lawyer, one of the very good lawyers we have in the country. I respect his thought process about the judicial process for our country, right? So he said there's no case, and we look forward to see what's going to happen. But again, this is a day for the country that nobody is above the law, and we should always allow the best practice to always play out here. Again, briefly, as relate to the video we listened to, the video speaks a lot of issue here. They talk about lifestyle audit, and I do agree when folks are in, and it's part of the accountability process on the most serious note, and that's one of the reasons why in public service there's a lot of law now to say we public officials should not frown on people attacking us, because in public service there's a serious process here about you being accounting to the people. And that even the issue about insult, you can never longer take people because they have decriminalized most of those things. Somebody can tell you all kind of a thing. And that's one of the reasons why when the former put the managing director sue Heron Costa here in the US. It didn't suffice. It didn't suffice because he's a public official, right? So it's a very serious thing. The lifestyle audit has heavily support that process. The day I'm in government, back again in government, I would love for my lifestyle to be audited, to know even if I'm having one needle, you should ask me how did you get. If I'm drinking one, even if you want to know how much I buy my beer, where I'm getting paid for, I mean, it's open to the public to know those things. But again, because we serve our people. But yeah, that's the country we're in. And that's the democracy we aim for yesterday. The yesterday we were talking about that we're going to come, that we say everybody will be interactive. The pluralism of our democracy it is here today. Everyone will have their own and believe and account for the stewardship of our responsibility thereof. It's important.
All right, great.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to sit here and always try to be politically correct. It was good that the senator went to, with the invitation granted to him, that he went and presented himself. We are looking forward to the government doing a thorough investigation on the matter. Make sure that people who are on the payroll, answer to their stuff. Make sure documentations are there and everything. We have seen over the last 6 years, these people got rich. They got money, whether they're millionaires or not, we don't know. But we know that their lifestyle changed, and that's just the truth. And Liberian people, we don't want them to be in denial of that, because people cannot work in government for only 6 years and build mansions. My mother worked in government for 30 years. I had to finish her house because she never stood down for anybody. That's the beauty that Liberia had before. But when we sit on this platform, we start to be politically correct, this and that, and judicial system. My girl never had any money. So therefore, we applaud the government. Let them look into how all these payrolls or names got the payrolls and what happened. We want them to dig into it so he can tell us where he got the money from to bury his mother in Messalina that people are not even doing in Liberia. It's just the fact thing to do. Although Unity Party, if there's corruption is going on, doesn't negate the fact that the last government people got rich overnight. If you work in government and you never did business before, nobody know you to be a rich businessman. You came in government and you acquire wealth. We want you to publish your assets so we can know how you acquire this wealth, what you did to get them. And I hope Joseph Boakai government will have more people that really know how to do these things so we can nail these people, that they will bring back the money that they stole and go to prison and be persecuted if they stole any money. If they are investigated, that's the right thing to do. If you stay in America and you got money to send your family are living in Liberia, they're living their lives, you're living here good in America, you don't know the suffering of Liberia. But most of you go to Liberia, go on bluffing spree and looking for a woman and doing stuff. Other people go to Liberia, do major work. And if you go in the depths of Liberia, you see the suffering of the people. You will not want these people that stole government money to go free. You will not want that. And that's just the fairness. How these people acquire wealth in 6 years, and how these people in power now acquiring wealth. We need to know that people need to be exposed to the public, and Liberian people need to make sure that they're persecuted. I mean, in a way that the people who work in the system have the power to do it. But again, this is Liberia for you. Whether it will happen, we don't know. But at least it's getting exposed, and we're happy for that.
All right, great. Thank you. Good to see you, Robert. I think it's important, Chris. You struck a very strong view that it's important that some of these people be persecuted. You can't just let things continuously rolling like that. I think it's not good for the country, and that's why we see the country. But Tomalin George coming, Robert,
Yes,
welcome.
I would say, like I always said, I'm all for audit and also if you are foreign libel, those who betray the public trust. If it's proven in the court of competent jurisdiction that you actually betrayed the public trust, you should be prosecuted. And then also, I think during the election, I think I only heard Councillor Gonglo. He was the only one who was saying there'll be if he's elected president, there'll be lifestyle audit, which is good. And Grace made a good point. Look, the reason why people declare the asset is because to tell the people what you coming in office with, what's your wealth, your worth. If you come into office, they want to know. So tomorrow, if you see Ben Sanvee driving his Mercedes Benz, we'll ask a question. Yeah, he came to office with his Mercedes Benz. He showed it, And then we see it. He had $200,000 in his bank account in US dollar, maybe $5 million in his Liberian dollar account. He had other assets. Yes. And even though the law says that you're not compelled to publish it, but if you do it in good faith, I think you should be able to make it public. You know, I know people get problem with Dylan, but I admire what Dylan did. He published it. I said he declared, he published it, made it public. Other people follow, and those who follow, Musa Behede did it too. All those who declared the asset and made it public, I commend them for that. You know, and so forth. And then we're talking about the issue with McGill. They went to the court today. It's good. He honored the court. There's nowhere in any country you should. I've always been told that you cannot dishonor, you cannot refuse the court invitation, the court order you to appear, you got to appear. That's why we pray and hope that all those who the court asked them to appear will find a way to appear. And just before I land, you know, today, this morning, I got a call, and some intelligence, I'll call it, but maybe we'll discuss it later on. But there's something about some order or some plan to search the former president of Liberia home. I think either this week or next week. And immediately we made some calls, and somebody very reputable confirmed that's in the works. And I don't know what the law says about that, because I know that when you are former president, the Constitution gave you certain you are protected by certain part of the Constitution. I think only where there's proven criminal misconduct, something of that nature, before you can go that far. But if that's what we got this morning, if that's true, I want to hope that the Bugger administration reconsider what they plan to do, and because I don't think that will be the right direction to take this country to, you know. So as time goes by, we're gonna get more information, but that's why I'm sure some people on the platform may have heard that, because I know two other persons confirmed it with me today too again. Okay, so but again, as I end, whoever is, if you undermine the law, if you betray the public trust, yeah, you should be held accountable. But just do it within the confines of the law. Do not try to take people to court or go after people because of politics. If you do that, then you are not doing it in good faith. You are trying to tear the country apart. So again, McGill honor the court order. I heard Serena Sifa saying that McGill honor his day. He's on protection now, and he will not talk anything now. He was me, and he left. I've been trying to contact Serena Sifa to see how best maybe he can throw more light on his comments today after they came from the LSTC. But they'll just keep on praying for the best. But again, if you violate the law, if you treat the public trust, you should be held accountable.
Let's see. Let's hear from Alex, and then we'll go to Robert.
Okay.
Alex, the last thing you were saying before they cut you off, can you just repeat?
Yeah. Okay. So what I was saying is, every Liberian wants us to fight corruption. I think that was the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf Unity Party slogan, making corruption public enemy number one. They failed miserably. In fact, according to John Malou, in 2009, when the Kafouin was finance minister, I believe, he called that very government 3 times more corrupt. So So if there was government corruption 3 times more corrupt, who were he talking about? The person selling on the street? But I was saying here, in our very government, the All Black Transparency International did a report where monies were paid by mining company to Amara Kone and a list of officials. This is not allegation. They presented the evidence.
Excuse me,
what's the report?
I will put it on. So I will put it report.
But sometimes you share the report when you come
on
and then we'll take you serious. What's the report?
Okay, but I don't think they'll read the newspaper because
there's no report whatsoever on that. Put a report on now.
Africa. Let me finish.
Let me finish. Put a report on now. No, this is serious. Alex, can I?
Let me finish.
Yeah, let him finish, guys. Let him finish.
Can I get Alex a chance?
That's all. Yeah, let him finish. Then
Okay.
we do that. You can do your
Transparency International data report, which I'm going to present here, and I hope you'll please put it up, that Amar Kone and a host of other public officials, including Robert Salif, were they received bribe for all blacks in Liberia. That
That
was
report is
widely reported. Why, when you call these people name, then everybody just get jittery?
because CDC government failed
You
at that.
think Amar Kone is not corrupt?
No, I'm not saying that because the CDC
Can
government took that
anybody
same
else tell me
report.
that they
They
can
did not succeed in court with
look
that
at
same
the
report.
Liberian people and tell me
God,
that
Okay,
Amar
let
Alex,
Kone?
they give it comment, then we can comment. We can.
I'm sorry,
Because
Dad.
and
I love my
that's the
brother
thing
so much.
about
I don't
them.
want to embarrass
We
him.
should
That's what I'm
accuse
saying.
McGill. We should accuse Weir. But by the time
Yeah.
you go to the political file, the Amar Kone, then all of a sudden the whole corruption existed in Liberia. I'm not making this thing up. The thing is in the report. Go and read. I've said it before. I published it before. Transparency International, they are the most credible organization and global witness that investigate corruption around the world, including America. And they come up with report every year. If you go and read those reports, it will tell you where Liberia was. In this particular instance, Amar Kone was involved in bribery, according to Global Witness and Transparency International. Okay, of which he was never prosecutor, he was never investigator because his government was in power. The same report claimed that the government was by John Malou, who is a Unity Party man, devotee. He himself, as Auditor General, claimed that the government was 3 times corrupt. What was he? Who was he talking about? Who was in the government? Who was finance minister at the time? Who was central bank governor at the time? So let us not kid ourselves here and waste the Liberian people's time. When you say corruption, Liberia is one of the most corrupt countries on the planet. That is official. The United States government has said it. Liberia is very corrupt. Even Ellie Johnson Sirleaf herself said it. She failed in the fight of corruption. That's not allegation. So who did the corruption? So where all the millions of dollars that came to Liberia, where did it go? It just disappeared. So why won't these are not just speculations? If Ellie Johnson Sirleaf can admit that her government was corrupt, who am I or any of you here to say, oh, that we're just speculating? The only reason why people are not prosecuted in Liberia because the people in government, our judicial system itself, they're corrupt. He's Walker doing the campaign, claimed the government was corrupt. The Weir government was corrupt. The other report, central bank supposed to be giving loans to officials. Central bank does not give loans to individual. You work at central bank, you want a loan, you go to a commercial bank like everybody else. No central bank in the world gives loan to its official, and of which most of them didn't pay. Was that not in the report 2 weeks ago? These people are filtered corrupt. Let's just admit it. And if Liberia wants to move forward, then we should be able to look in their faces and tell them they're corrupt. Instead of here saying, oh, that they're speculating. What law in Liberia has even prosecuted any high-ranking officer in Liberia as corrupt as it is? Y'all have no case.
All right,
Please.
Robert.
So I will share the report, then y'all can put it up now. Let me get a report and share it.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna be protected now because I don't have a voice. So please, I don't want to be interrupted. So Alex, I think that it's not that every time you call certain names. I think I consider myself a reputable Liberian, and I frown on corruption, right? And so you and I agree here that I think every single case relative to corruption based on facts and not hearsay and they say or smell campaign should be prosecuted to its fullest. And if found liable, I think that those who are found liable by the law and not gossip should be held accountable. Everyone wants to fight corruption until it hits home. The problem with Liberian government or the problem with us is the fact that we have not done our due diligence when it comes to actually fighting corruption, because any serious government who wants to fight corruption will be more interested in the facts and what win cases in the court of law, and not interested in the politically smell campaign and character assassination. This is the issue. So when we speak on certain reports
Yeah,
and
everything we can say
mention
action.
certain reports as backup, as to names that were involved in corruption, you've got to be very careful. The Liberian government, I believe, have not either. They have reluctantly said, you know what, we don't want to go after folks, or we will go after certain people even without the facts, right? But we will put them on the newspapers. The newspaper will show them in handcuffs. The newspaper will show that they've been arrests have been put out, warrant have been put out for their arrest. But this is how far it ends, because we have not done what we're supposed to do in the interest of actually fighting corruption, to go to court and prosecute them. The Global Witness report that you talk about, in that report, at the head of that report, the Global Witness said likely. And those who put out this information about this report are smart. The reason why they put likely is because they don't have the full facts. They are afraid to be sued for defamation. Likely, it's not certainty. It's not. Global Witness did not have any report. There was a speculation that Block 13 was owned by former official of Ellen government. And they believe in that report that because American and others were in charge of the economy at the time, Block 13 would not have been awarded without bribery and without their involvement. When citizens and the other government officials were going after American about corruption, he publicly said, I challenge you to take me to court. I'm not here to speak on behalf of American. American is not perfect.
You are already doing that.
No, I'm not. I'm setting the record straight. I'm setting the record straight because this is a reputable platform. And when we sit on this platform to make references to report in the name of people that we say are corrupt, we must have the facts.
Myself,
My
and
sister
Amara
Grace,
Kone can
please
sue me
do
for
not interrupt me.
defamation.
I don't have a voice. Please do not. I'm trying to save my voice.
No, I didn't want to clarify that.
Listen. The report that you referenced at the head of that report, it clearly says likely.
No, but read the report.
I read the report.
It says it has evidence.
No. The PowerPoint
Okay, you put the report. I
presentation-
didn't read it to him. Can
Guys,
we put the report on?
guys, why are we going to litigate this report here?
So let's put the report on so we can read it for the Liberian people.
You know what? Two people are, you know, also.
But that report has been on for a minute.
Because I can read the report here. It says Global Witness. Hold on here. It says Global Witness also see evidence.
Robert, and your statement, we got to move on. We got a lot of
In 2013, ex-ante senior Liberian officials were paid bonuses. Nokal CEO, Randolph McLean, National Investment Commission, Neddy Davis, Finance Minister, Amara Kone, Mining Minister, Patrick Sendolo. It is not on the Global Witness website. They say they're seeing evidence of it.
Where
so
are
when
the
the
evidence?
United States government,
Hold on.
You
see why you no, it's not your turn.
when the United
Alex, I
States
don't want to
government sanctioned McGill for corruption, why you go to the United States government that McGill was not charged for any crime?
You see,
why you didn't tell them? Why you go to the United States government?
Guys, we can't move. We can't go on like that. We can't.
No, but that'll be bad. Yeah, I don't have the energy to go back and forth. That's
let Robert Edge come in. Robert Edge come in.
I can't defend himself because I'm reading for a report of credible institution that said, according to the investigation, that they have evidence because when ExxonMobil pay these people, ExxonMobil has to report to the United States Treasury of who they pay. You think ExxonMobil will pay bribery and they will not be held accountable to the shareholders?
So then why?
You think how they got to know that?
Okay.
Maybe you don't
Alex,
understand.
Let us talk. You had a long time to talk. Let Robert end his statement.
Go ahead.
Okay, Alex, you see, I don't have the energy to go back and forth, my brother. But I want to make sure that you say what you want to say without us going back and forth. Let me say this. The report did not list any evidence. Not a single receipt whatsoever. You read a report. So what you think? What you
Global Witness now?
Hey, my brother, can you give me the chance to land? For God in heaven's sake.
Baba, I beg you, man.
For God in heaven's sake, can I land, please?
God, y'all take this down. Whoever putting this thing up, don't distract the show, man.
Listen here, man.
Oh,
There
we're
was a
talking again.
challenge
Put it
put
on.
forth.
Take it down.
There was a challenge put forth by American with this very report. I've seen some facts that I had access to, and you know what?
Bring your facts.
And you know what? The various concerns that I had prior to seeing those facts, what is very concerned that you had on ESA and they say. What I'm trying to explain to you is this: Global Witness have evidence that these folks were bribed. There was a challenge by American to the government. I will avail myself, take me to court and provide the evidence. Nothing happened. And I will challenge this government. Since Joseph Boaga is fighting corruption, I will challenge Joseph Boaga. This is what we continue to say. Don't just focus on seditions. American is not a sedition. American played an integral role in the election of Joseph Boaga. And so here's a challenge to Joseph Boaga. If you believe the report being put forth by Global Witness, take American and others to court and provide the evidences in court. And let's see what happened, Alex. Here's a simple point. All of us frown on corruption. But one thing I've learned is this. We cannot, and we should not base our accusation and our allegations simply on hearsay and say. Because tomorrow it could happen to me. I want the government to put forth facts when it comes to corruption so that we can actually hold folks accountable.
But
if
this is not
to base corruption on hearsay, what's going to happen is this. You're going to put folks on handcuffs. So why is it that the government have not been able to take folks to court, provide the evidences, and actually send them to jail for corruption?
Because the government itself is corrupt.
Let's go to Tomalin, and then we'll go to Kanabu, and then we'll go
quickly before you go to too many on this report issue. Let me tell you, Alex here. Yes, what now the issue of Global Witness process. Global Witness brought in a haphazard report.
That's what it said. Likely, exactly.
The report of haphazard. They came up. There were a lot of areas they couldn't indicate most of the issue about. For instance, when they talk about Nokai. We'll be going through the report time to time. I can recall when the report came out, we challenged them to come up with the evidence. Right? The Nokai issue, they say they may have, you read it just now. They said they paid per diem. And it was institutionalized. And Nokai both accepted and agreed that at the time, during board hearing, they are per diem paid to those for certain fees. It was indicated.
That is not illegal.
Right?
That is not illegal for government official. Hold on, let me ask you the question. So it's not illegal for a government official to receive bonuses because of for doing his job.
It's not illegal. It's not illegal.
I don't think. Look,
it's not illegal. Let me say this for you.
It's illegal for any government official to receive any bonuses for any.
Alex.
Quickly, please.
That is illegal.
Honorable John Molu indicated in one of his audit briefing on the opinion of the Auditor General, indicated that it was important then that we remove government officials that are sitting on board. It is legal that government officials on board will have, when they sit on board meetings, they will have per diem paid to them. For instance,
this was not a board situation. That was not.
You gotta move on, guys. Somebody gotta talk.
You're saying you're not defending
it's
these
important
people,
that we do necessary clarification because I don't want the guy to go with the mindset that those global renewal report you talk about.
But then people already know American is corrupt.
He's
I
not
don't have
corrupt.
to say that.
There's no report.
If they already know the Unity Party government is corrupt.
Nothing whatsoever.
And you sitting here and you want to defend them.
And the report you gave, that's a
so let him come on the show.
He's not.
He promised to come on the show.
Can I interject? Can I interject and say something, please?
Robert said American will come on the show.
Can I interject and say something, please? This notion that this thing we do where we come and we say this person is a rogue, this person is a criminal, is this, and then we say, you know what, they will come on the show and defend themselves. I don't think it's fair. I think, and everybody's entitled to their opinion. I'm not going to knock anybody for their opinion here. If you have it, you have your information, you want to talk about it, you can talk about it. But I think we also just have to be careful when we come out and we say, you know, this person is a criminal, this person is a rogue, this person is this. I'm just saying.
I'm siding. I'm siding.
Alex, you've been very.
You misquoting me.
You can't be the only one talking. Let the man
I'm siding. No, no.
Yeah,
hang on.
I'm gonna stop muting people right now. I'll stop muting people.
So I would just end on this note.
Giving the report.
Global Witness report, Transparency International report. Yes, they are reputable organizations, right? But it don't mean that they can get things wrong sometimes too, right?
But nobody have.
I'm not saying whatever the report you're talking about. I think I've glanced over it. I haven't
You're
read
right in the
it
chat room. You're there for you to go read.
right? But all I would say is that when we come and we say, oh, this person is this person is that, listen, I have been a victim of people casting aspirations on my name. So I'm very careful before I say somebody else's rule.
But that's why
I am extremely careful when I
posted out a $40,000 boy.
Yeah. So for me, I'm just urging all of us. Again, like I said, this is a free platform. Everybody's responsible for what they say on this platform, right? All I'm saying is I don't think it's fair. I don't think it reflects well on the platform for us to make blanket statements and say, oh, this person is a criminal.
Everything is cited that I said, and I give
But
you
my
sources.
question to you,
That's all I wanted
Put
to
at
say.
the president
Was there any
of Liberia.
global report saying that you took $40,000?
No.
Thank you. There was no report ever showing that you took any money. It's hearsay. It's different from when there's a report that with all the accusation and then
No.
That's different.
But Chris, my point.
Senator has not published an answer to the public.
Yeah, no, but Chris.
Allegations on your name.
Yeah, but Chris.
So we can
Chris,
see where you
because he didn't publish his assets, because he has not published his assets, don't make him a criminal.
Nobody making you. I would be the last.
Alex Jones
making you a criminal.
Alex Jones said the man is a criminal. Alex Jones said the man is
did not say that.
Doesn't mean
I said he was involved in corruption and bribery.
You said the man is corrupt.
According to the and I want listen now.
Alex, all you can say is
let me
allegedly,
because you're going out of your ways. You're going out of your ways to twist this thing. I never made any blanket criticism. I quoted my source. It's a very credible international source.
Blanket and repugnant. You make a blanket and repugnant.
My own personal feeling and the Liberian people and Ellie Johnson Sirleaf and Joseph Borka and John Molu, who worked in the government, called the government 3 times more corrupt. That if that's not enough for you, all right.
Yeah, but
Gongolo on his very show here, Gongolo called Jeremiah Kun the corruption King Kong.
Yeah, but that's what I said. There's no notion that we come and we just big statements.
We
have to be careful.
As a media platform, like what you're supposed to do, we work for the
public. That's not what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to cast aspirations on people.
We're supposed to do our due diligence.
But we're moving on. We just need to be government officials. It's time that you're
that's too many comments.
Mention one of the godfathers.
You ask the people continue to accuse you. That's just it.
I mean, look, guys, the fact that everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Exactly.
We shouldn't question
but you're right. You are not American.
Everybody's entitled to their opinion. We should not be questioning people's opinion here. When your time comes, you can express how you feel about it. But we should not be
you don't bring some sanity to the
Go ahead.
People cannot blanketly accuse other people.
Okay, then when the time comes for you to talk, then you express your displeasure about it.
Right. And I have a source.
Go ahead, Tomalin.
Yeah. First of all, let me say this. Again, like I will re-echo what Ben said. Honestly, people are listening. A lot of people watch our show. People listen to our show. Okay. People can say whether we now a big platform, whatever the case. But I know serious people watch our show, and they are they wait for this time to kind of watch our show. And there are certain people who send a link to every day. They watch this show, and they really take a lot from this show. So when people, like Ben said, we come and say Tomalin is corrupt, Tomalin is this and that, you call me. We all know evidence. It's like you just trying to tainting the person's character. If you come with evidence, say, look, yeah, the evidence there. Let the checks the person took.
Only the government can carry on investigation, Tomalin. If the government did not carry on investigation,
so you say, okay,
but Alex, man, you ready to give it a show today?
this investigation was held.
Because you're defending
no,
wrong.
just way small. When you're talking, you can talk.
The investigation was held.
You're interrupting all the time. So what's the big deal?
And this is where the investigation led. Then the result of the investigation. And the facts are here, you know. But to do this thing just, and then Ben said, you tell somebody, say, come on the show. I mean, one thing I tell people, if I was in public office, I would never stop coming on the show. I would go to any platform to defend myself, to talk. Because I want to level the point in America. See the American, the folks in America, they put camera to them. They ready to answer. I'm not a fan of Trump, but Trump, one thing he let it pray. That being the media, he always stumble, but he always in front of the camera. Okay, it's good. If you start to hide from, you start to shy away from the media or from to defend yourself, people will go wrong with this thing, and you won't always have people to come and defend you also. But you know, again, we should all try to get somebody who is involved with the global witness report, who is involved with the investigation, to come forward, to come and say, look, come and discuss with us about this, about that report, what happened. And again, we are planning a big show on Dokar. Dokar bankruptcy, we're planning a big show on Dokar. People will come forward and will tell Liberian people what happened with Dokar. Because when you hear some stories about Dokar, you say our country is cursed. Because Dokar alone should have brought billions of dollars to Liberia, billions of dollars to our country. But for the former president to say she take the blame for Dokar being bankrupt and so forth, it means a lot. Nobody can go and wrestle about it, but the idea we should get to the bottom of Dokar, find out why Dokar went bankrupt, and who benefit from Dokar today. Okay, and because you know, people, we all know that people were involved, but if people can come forward and bring the evidence to and prove that these people were involved in these things, it'll be good. You know, so look, let's be mindful. If you don't have evidence on someone, you dig the evidence, you bring it forward. Let the evidence there. So if for example, you don't have evidence here, not only just reading that report, but say, look, it was established or investigated. They were found that the person was accountable for this act that he committed. Then the person have the choice to come and say, well, I'll defend myself. I'll come and clarify it. But if you don't have it, just mere report and just try to think person is wrong. And by the way, as I end, I want to welcome in the country comrades Augustine Kwe Gafwan. He is in the country. He'll be the minister of finance. He'll be announced a president. Boygas the rival in the country will be announced the finance minister. Welcome, comrade Gafwan.
You just won't get.
All right, guys. Look, I believe the issue here with Dokar and other places. Look, there were people who were implicated. They are involved. I don't think anybody should be restricted to call the name. I don't know about, but with Dokar, the President Selig at the time even admitted that her son, I mean, there were millions of dollars that was coming at Dokar. So I think it's important to give everybody the opportunity to share what they have to. If you don't agree with somebody, you can come out and express your displeasure, but trying to restrict them to talk about the evidence. And we talk about a lot of things here that we don't have evidence about. Let's be honest about it. Let's be honest.
Peabody, there's a way you say it at a Peabody. There's a way you say it. You cannot be I mean,
so
it's a bottom of repetition at the Peabody.
No, but just a point of correction. There's a way. Nobody
saying evidence. That's my point.
Just a point of correction. There's nobody saying nobody should talk about it.
Exactly.
But my only thing I'm saying is we can use, again, we are on the public airways, right? You can say, according to what it's in Global Witness, Amara Conner allegedly received bribes.
That's what I always say.
We have to leave because even the law say you are innocent until you are proven guilty.
Of course, and that listen, I agree. Amara was never indicted in any criminal offense.
So when you come in and say, well, Amara is
was indicted in a corrupt Liberia, so don't even wait for indictment. Okay.
But then you see, then that is
if they were not indicted, then they did not do it. Let's be honest.
Well, yes, or you can form an opinion. You can form an opinion based on your own.
So Alex, let me give you an example.
Goes out hold on, when CNN goes out and says that a public official is involved in corruption and they present the case, that person is not indicted at that point.
But
If he
CNN
waiting for
will
indictment,
CNN
hold on,
will
yeah.
CNN will never blanket statement against that person.
blanketly and
Once
indict someone.
there's
But Alex never did that. He said,
an
according
act,
to our
you
report.
can
He
see
said
No,
the
he
man
said
is
the man is
corrupt.
corrupt. He said the man is
He said
corrupt.
he's
yeah,
He has
yeah,
opinion.
based on my information and
He has
most
opinion.
Liberians, including Ellen Johnson
That man is
Sirleaf,
corrupt.
who admitted that members in her government were corrupt. I'm
Okay,
quoting
so
the president
Alex,
of
someone
Liberia
else gonna talk
directly.
now. So let me say this. Let me say this, Alex. I'll give you a perfect example.
Mhm.
You're not the only one who don't let people who don't let people corrupt.
No, but you're refuting Ellen
Hey,
Johnson
but Alex,
Sirleaf's
but you
statement.
can't. Oh, I mean, look at my voice gone because you can't. You don't
Okay,
want to
let it
walk and
go.
talk like this.
No,
You're
let it
that
go.
small. Yeah. So, for example, let me give you an example. You can say, I can sit on this platform on national radio and say, Senator Abraham Darrell Dillon is a pathological liar. And I can point to where he's lying and apologize to even his mom. Okay? I can say that. That's a fact. Right? But again, like Ben said, when you're saying people are corrupt,
It
I
will
have
not be
learned
a
this.
fact. It will be
I
your
have been.
opinion.
It's not a
fact.
It's not. When the man say you.
No,
when the
but he
man
has
say,
not admitted that
When
he
he
the man
admitted
admitted
that, that's a
it.
fact.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay,
That's the difference.
so when Ellen Johnson Sirleaf admit that her government is
But Ellen
corrupt,
Johnson Sirleaf did not call names.
Ellen Johnson Sirleaf
Ellen
She
did
didn't
not
Johnson
know
admit that her
that.
government is corrupt. She didn't
Ellen
admit that her
Johnson
government is
Sirleaf
corrupt.
said members of
when they
some
see
members
Amara
of my
Conan stood
government.
there and called the CDC
So,
government corrupt, did
But,
he
so,
have any
but,
evidence?
but because
She didn't
somebody
admit.
do it, doesn't mean
And
we
he
should
didn't
do it.
admit.
That is
And
the
so,
this
point.
show,
It's not
this show
uncommon.
is
It's
not
not
Ellen
illegal.
Jones show.
let me say
This
this.
show
Let
is
me
not
lay
Ellen
down this
Jones
note.
show.
Alex,
Yeah, my man.
Alex,
Let's focus on the issue, then focus
Alex,
on Ellen
Yeah,
Jones.
let's
Ellen
the
go.
Jones
only
Let's
show
point
was
go.
here
Focus
is
Christian
this,
on
right?
CDC corruption.
The only
Let's
point
go.
here is
Let
this,
me hear the
Alex.
Jones show
screaming.
here.
Guys,
The
let's
only
hear
Ellen
the
Jones,
get 1
Ellen
second,
Jones
please.
show.
Get 1 second, please.
Like Ellen
The only
Jones
point
is
here
a
is,
guest.
guys, the only
Ellen
point
Jones
here
a
is this.
guest on the show. That will focus on Ellen Jones on the show.
Still got waste
Let's
more
focus
back.
on this issue.
Okay, let's focus on the
Yeah.
issue. The
I
only
want to
point here is
liberate
this.
people. Some of your
Everyone should
politicians. I
speak
want to
on.
liberate people who have
Everyone
no
should speak
respect for
on who is corrupt and who is corrupt. We agree. Everyone should speak on that. All we're saying is, for the benefit of the audience and this platform, I can enjoy when Dr. Peabody is vexed. But Dr. Peabody, remember when you said we should hold on? Or the from the VP before we brought that guy on? You did it for a particular reason, to protect the platform when it comes to people making allegations. But at least, even if that person came on, we can say allegedly, until we see the facts. And you know what?
And
I
that's the
used to
point.
do that as well. But I've learned, I have grown.
That's
I
your
used to do
prerogative.
that.
You don't
I
tell
used
me
to
how
come
to
out and make
speak.
blankets. Hey, God.
You don't
I mean,
tell me
what?
how to
Dad,
speak.
I'm done, man. I'm done. Go ahead.
You
Yeah,
can
they
speak
let's
for
bring
should.
yourself,
Kenabu on.
Kenabu,
and I
Let's bring
can speak
Kenabu
for
on.
myself. You can't
When
educate me on how to
I regain my voice, Alex, I will interrupt you on the platform nonstop.
You interrupt me all the time.
Okay.
All
Let's
right,
bring,
so
let's
guys,
bring
listen.
Kenabu on.
Thank you, Peabody.
Defending your corrupt politicians.
I'm not trying to control the show, but I think the tradition has been that when you're not talking, you mute yourself. I've been putting text messages in the chat room because many people are not muted. They are not muted themselves. So I get a lot of feedback, and I don't know. The moderator has just been resting. He himself, his line is open. So, I mean, thousands of people listening to us. We are competing with all the platforms. So we need to be, kind of straight on and focus, because when I came on, the topic we're on was what happened in Monrovia today and the issue of corruption. But guys, hear what I will say. I know my brother Alex wants to go into history, which he's doing that rightfully so. But I will say this, and I will set the example. I will use my own brother, Councillor Tiawan Gongla, as an example. He's working two governments. He worked in Emosoyo government. He left from there with literally zero. Naka, nothing. He went and started his law firm. He didn't have a house. He moved in an apartment. There were other ministers, other officials who built a house during the same government. He didn't build a house. He worked with Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. He left that government. He didn't have money. I remember giving him the car that he used. One local NGO, which I'm part of, borrowed him the car to use it. He did not have, he lived just on his salary. When he left government, he has to even credit money to travel, to get his ticket, because he lives just on his salary. I'm a family person. I can talk this. or for the record. So when we talk about lifestyle, it's easier for someone to say, "Oh, we don't have record, we don't have court conviction." But let's to a former Attorney General from Uganda. There is a video I shared in the chat room. He said some of the people who are coming government claiming that they have travel pardon, they save money from the travel pardon, see the material they get when they are working in government. Look at that material wealth. There are people who have become mega farmers in Liberia today. Let's put the salary they made when they were ministers or legislators. Can the salary they made, can he establish the fund they have? I will take Ellen Snow, I'll point at Ellen Snow on this. Look at the land Ellen Snow has. He has worked at IPRC. Does he have a business registration? Is he paying taxes on his business? What kind of contract he's getting? Can his salary, legitimate salary, earn him that wealth, that possession he has, that he's a major farmer today? And the list go on. Many of these people don't become farmer until they become minister, until they become representative, until they become senator. That's a fact. And we not dress that. When we're fighting for our country to be better, we cannot sit on a platform and we not dress this. We have to speak truth to power. Even the politicians that many of us are friendly with. Look, I spoke with a lawyer at NEC last week. The lawyer now spent 40 minutes on the line talking. And I asked the lawyer that the declaration candidates make, because when they apply at NEC, when they're running, they do declare what they have, because they have to show tax clearances on the property and what have you. Okay? And I said, do we have access to that? He said, yeah, you can have access to that. But if you try, the chairman will say, they will deny you. You just have to fight hard. But what he and I discussed and we discover is that some of the people who are publishing an asset declaration today and what they declare when they were contesting, when they were candidate, even though it's a minimum declaration, they are million miles apart. Guys, let's face it. There are people who have published, I don't want to call Nia because you just here for one person, but there are people who have published an asset declaration that even if they claim to have businesses, the question will ask you, are you paying taxes on your businesses? Mm. Are those businesses rich because you're using your position of influence to garner contracts? If you are an ordinary person having trucks, your truck may not get a contract you have, but your truck is getting contract from Western Cluster, from Golden Verona, from this company, from that company, because of your position. If you want to be a businessman and be a good one. You don't come in public service and you do both. And that's the issue we should deal with as panelists in my mind. Because our country is going down the drain. Our country is, maybe some of you do not have a bigger picture of where Liberia is. For me, I've been in the classroom. Most recent 2019, I was in the classroom. I have a vivid, graphic imagination of what our country is going through. It's easier for someone to say, oh, Liberian students went Ghana, they perform, or they came to the US, they perform. That's just few. Millions of Liberians are getting substandard education, substandard health services. They are dying. The politicians are milking the country. Poverty is more dangerous than guns. And everybody knows that corruption kills millions in Africa. There are estimates on that, the civil conflict. There are estimates on that. There's no dispute about this. It has been established that corruption kills more people because corruption sends people into poverty. And poverty is a breeding ground for crimes, for drugs, for all these illicit behavior. So I think we should focus on that. You know, I will stop there.
Can I come in, please? Peabody?
But now your time, man.
And
whose time is it?
I'm muting myself. I'm mute ourselves.
So I can go now, eh?
Because everybody should mute. The person that have notes. Yes.
Peabody,
Thank you.
that's a rule. Peabody, please enforce it.
Thank you. And another.
Well, now your
thing
class
that-
meal.
Thank you. And another thing, so that we don't have to be focusing on an individual when they speak, is that to focus on the issue. Because I see us sometimes spend a lot of time focusing on one individual when they speak instead of focusing on the subject about. And it takes a lot of time. And it gains nothing else but traction for that one individual. And I think it's not fair to even the people who are following us. Because if we were speaking on corruption, and because one man level is under allegation or blah, 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 we run behind that man for over 30 minutes to respond to that one man because he leveling one allegation against someone. And then we leave the whole subject. Then it becomes like that man is practically like a guest now on the show because everybody focuses
But
on
I
that
mean,
one.
that's all I see in the back. You just talk what you supposed to do. You wasting all that
Yeah,
time.
well, that's the same thing I'm talking. So sometimes it becomes a problem. And it has happened on the show consistently. All right. Now, the issue that happened in Monrovia today, for example, for me, the whole problem of cherry picking is our issue. I think what people got problem with the Boaka administration about is the issue of cherry picking. If you want to be holistic about how you deal with these issues, you have to be holistic about it. You can't focus on one group of people and leave your people out. Take, for example, the issue with McGill. Yes, I know you're talking about payroll, partly, and all of that. But when Boaka came to power, you relieved over 700 persons off their job at the Ministry of State. If you wanted to do that investigation about payroll, partly, you should have had those people there and they be part of your investigation, whether they are alive, whether they're human being, whether they're not existing. But you told all the people off already, you said they didn't get joy again. Some of those people were making as low as $200, $300 and so forth. You remove them. Now, what you technically told the public was that putting people on supplementary payroll was technically wrong. But as we speak, the Boaka administration has got people also on supplementary payroll.
You got proof?
Yes.
Okay.
Were they convicted in the court of law?
I said yes.
But what? But the man said they got people on supplementary payroll that crime. Did he say it was a crime?
There? I said yes.
Yeah, the man said it was a crime.
In fact, the report had it that one of Boaka's children is on the Ministry of State payroll. One of Boaka's children, the report had it.
I saw it.
One of the Boakas.
I saw it.
I'm talking about it. I tell people all the time, people who follow my page and other things, I got no reason to come on a public platform to lie on anybody. Anytime you see something on my page, know that it is not propaganda. If I'm ready to do propaganda, I know when to do it. Maybe that election year, they won't play around, they different.
And when I don't want to go, on your upper page.
Yeah. But, I mean, things that I will post on my page, and I got no reason to fake anything. No reason. And in fact, while George Weah were paying some of these people, or Magadan were paying some of these people 200, 300 or so forth, the Boaka administration is paying these people 1,000 plus.
Check the chat room. Everybody can check the chat room. All the documents.
1,000 plus. That what Boaka paying some of these people then that on the supplementary payroll. What sort of disservice to our country is this? You get vet because they put people on 200, 300 payroll, you fire all of them. But you now get people job in the same place and paying them 1,000 plus US dollar. This is hypocrisy. This is one of the reasons the country is going nowhere. I mean, how can a place of 4.5 million with all the resources that this country got? How we can say that one group of people just won't be millionaires while we all poor? That is the problem of the country. One group of people, they keep everybody poor. And they are the only people shining and we all live on them. It's unfortunate. It's disappointing. It has got to change. I mean, just before I end here, people will soon get tired with the Boaka administration. When they'll get tired is simple. I know you're fighting for every day. As soon as there is an issue that comes up, you make sure you indict one man, then everybody run on that indictment, yeah. But Bouaka administration, first of all, need to start telling the public when the first company will come, when the first job will be created, when the first opportunity, when we improve this economy. Liberia will get tired with indictment very soon. In fact, it's my understanding on Capitol Hill, the Bouaka administration has sent 7 legislations on Capitol Hill saying Bouaka came to power. One has not been passed by one horse. One single law saying Bouaka became president. I said more than 7. One has not passed. Even Capitol building, the president can make a way through in Capitol building. When you finish indicting all the people in the country, a good asset recovery today, put up a new thing, asking the police to get them 7 people or ERU, we agree that's good. You indict Magadan, you indicting everybody, fine. What the people will be eating? The people eating on the dump site now. Liberians are going on the dump site and eating. This is what is important. We leave all the thing there. We're focusing on who our enemies are, how we will crush them, how better them will not eat in the country, how better them will die out of poverty. This is our focus. We're leaving the bread and butter. When the people get hungry, they'll get on the street. They will protest. They start eating on the dump site. When they get tired with the dump site, they will get on the streets. Any government that is not focusing on the well-being of the people and only focusing on always crunching on people with dissenting opinion, you get a long way to go. This thing is not going to pass 2 years if you're not careful. Thank you very much.
I think let me comment. I think Liberia is a country of law, and I think if the government indict anyone, they should. I believe people should be investigated. If they are found guilty, they must be punished.
Rightfully indicted. Rightfully indicted.
Of course, yeah, rightfully indicted. Yes. But the idea of they're doing it too, and they can't do it. Liberia will not go anywhere.
Yeah.
I think for me, I think the government started an investigation. Let those who were there before and had the opportunity to do it, they did not. They did not do it. So if the UB government started this, we shouldn't consider it a witch hunt. What stopped you from doing it when you were there? So I think the government should pursue this. If any corruption come up on this government, it will show. What Ben always say, people don't get pregnant from the back, they get pregnant from the front. We'll see it. But I think whatever decision the government made to go after corrupt government official, it is very important that they go after them. But let them do it the right way. That's what I think. Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think to buttress Toga and what you are saying, Peabody, I think the thing about government and governance is that you can walk and chew gum. That's why you are the government. When the people, we model everything after the United States. In fact, I don't even think Liberian people can sleep. The whole week they're not sleeping because they're up watching the Democratic Convention. That's how connected we are to the governance system of this country. Yesterday, I was looking on Facebook. I saw more Liberian people posting about Barack and Michelle's statement than even Americans that I know, right? So the reason I say that is because one overarching theme that you hear in this country is you see two divides, two ideological divides, right? The conservatives believe that government should have a limited role to play in the lives of the people, and people should be able to pursue their own happiness. People should be able to thrive in the private sector. Government should be able to create that environment. While the liberals believe that it is government's responsibility to take care of those who can take care of themselves. So that's why they push welfare. They push so all these different things. They push it, right? All in all, what I'm trying to say here is, when you are focused on, like Alex was saying, right? Because look at what is happening. I'm looking at this, and that's why I put it in the chat room for everybody to see. When you move 700 people from on a supplementary payroll, 700 Liberians, by the way, right? They may not have supported you, but 700 Liberians. And then your reasoning for removing them from on the payroll was because they got that the wrong way. That order was also put on the real payroll. That was some of the arguments I heard. my sister Cornelia Crower making. She's the deputy for administration. I heard her testifying for the House. I heard her on radio that these people got on the payroll the wrong way. That some of them, people just hire their friends and people just put. And so, in fact, there was a point where I think they wanted to attack her at the mansion, and she was speaking to them and saying that, oh, we will give her 2 months or something in advance. I'm just trying, I don't remember exactly the thing, but I'm sure some of you here remember what I'm talking about. But then when you come and you look at this, so that's the reason why you remove them. You remove them because this was the exact reason that led to harmonization. Because when what CDC tried to do, and to we are now, they will look at it, CDC may end up getting some credit, the we administration may end up getting some credit because the we administration could have removed people from the payroll to bring in seditions. Because when anytime a government comes to power, the government got to take care of its partisans, right? The people who support them. That's the way our system is. When they added people onto the payroll, the IMF insisted that we cannot, you can't manage this wage bill. So you got to be able to harmonize it. So because this administration cannot add people on it, they're taking people off and adding more people, and almost like swapping people. So like Toga said, it is a thin line. These people have families. These people have responsibility. For every one job, every one person you take out of a job, you're taking a whole group of people. Until we can fix a private sector, that you can say that today, if I like 1 p.m. job, I can decide and say, you know what, to hell with it, I'm going to look for another one. This is the system we have. I'm urging the government of Liberia to do something, to do this. You can walk and chew gum. Nobody said nobody will go after people for corruption. I have always said that the CDC administration dropped the ball on the issue when it came to accountability of their predecessor. But as you are doing this, you also, like Toga is saying, you got to focus now on the bread and butter issues. Because those were the things that you were campaigning on. You were campaigning, as somebody told me today, and Toga, you in Liberia, you can confirm that the prices of commodities are skyrocketing. People are not talking a lot. And when people are not talking like this, that's when you should start getting worried. Because it's at a point where, you know what, they're so frustrated, they're like, okay, you know what, we're just here now. And that's when opportunists take advantage of situations like this to be able to bring about trouble into the country. So all I would say is that the government should now begin the process of dealing with the economic situation in the country and start to figure out a way how they can play a balancing act. Because all that corruption thing you're talking, at the end of the day, you know what that Brempo was here? That court case we eat. And again, it is easy for those of us in the diaspora to clap for these things because we are not feeling the economic pinch. We may be feeling it because maybe we're sending money back to our people, but we're not sending our whole paychecks back to our people. So all I'm saying is they need to find a way to balance things out and start dealing with the economic situation.
I want Grace to comment, but before Grace coming, look, this is nothing new that we're watching here. The CDC did the same thing at the EPF and other places when they came to power. They were moving people and bringing their own people in. So this is a cycle that we are going in. The previous government did it.
No, Peabody. I would defend the CDC.
Peabody.
I would defend the CDC on this. Go ahead, Greg. The CDC never. Peabody. The CDC we're talking about.
That's the same thing.
Peabody. The CDC never removed people from on payroll. In fact, one of the crimes that the CDC committed that people attacked the CDC for was that they were adding people on the payroll. That's what they did.
That's how
they cannot remove people.
Harmonization came into being.
Harmonization came into being because they couldn't
remove people as well. I know a lot of people that are removed from the job.
How many people you know that are removed, Peabody?
I know people who are in office.
How many people you know that are removed? How many people you know that are removed?
Hundreds of people.
Do you know 700 people that were removed?
Hundreds of people removed. So there's the same cycle for ourselves in. Let's be honest here. Let's be honest here. Let's be honest. Go
That's
ahead,
the
Grace.
truth. We
Thank you,
need to be
Peabody.
honest.
Grace, go ahead.
Thank you, people. Ben, you cannot take over the show. You need to let other people speak, brother.
What true are taking over?
You take over the show.
Great talk about great people, man. Why you not taking over the show?
Take over the show. Let people talk. I want you talking today. Yeah. Look, regardless of what the case may be, or I don't know how Ben want the government to actually. I know you said the government can walk and chew, but at the same time, yeah, the economic crisis in the country is a lot. But the government going after these people is good enough because then maybe they can refund some of our money they stole to be able to help the people in the country because these people stole a lot of money. We're talking about millions of dollars here. So therefore,
$1.5 million cash at the bank.
Hello.
1.5 million.
Yeah, just imagine that with all the other money that they stole and keeping in their houses, that they
Great.
got under their beds, that maybe
Great.
now the government you trying to
Great.
go to
Great.
check in some people's houses. Can you judge me?
Let me just tell you something funny. Great. I just want to tell you something funny. Please, I beg you 1 minute, Great. Just hold on with me. Let me tell you, Brandon Samuka, right? Brandon Samuka, over 1 million went on a counter for. I think they told the man to pay 25.
Thank you. Thank you.
Who granted he clearance it though? Who granted
$25. You said $25.
Huh? Who granted Brandon Samuka clearance?
But that's the point. That's what I say. You're anyway when I saw you say I think all the show.
You don't know the country, Grace?
You're acting like we dealing with a country from space.
Ben taking over the show again.
Hey, look at everybody and I talking here. She said I'm my own.
You know, but the thing is that.
Oh, Reverend Johnson, right? Reverend Johnson, why you mad? Call the show. Reverend Johnson, Janet Johnson, call the show.
I understand Brandon Samuka pay $25,000 back, but at least he paid something back. It was known that he corrupted the government. That's why he was able to pay that money back.
That's a good man about it.
So I mean, we just have to allow this government to do what they are doing, and at the same time we to work on the economic aspect of the what it's supposed to do for the country, for the people to maybe start to live their lives and for better things to come to the country and everything. But look, the children in the country, they are on drugs because of the corruption in the country. Women are dying by the day. Okay, men or pregnancy delivery because of the corruption in the country. We cannot sit on this platform and be denying because we got our friends in government or because we got other people we want to protect. We have to say to people like, brother, come to us, don't go say it here. We all have to be able to speak to these things and say what it is. It's not every time that people bring allegations and there are reports made, they say, oh, because he investigated, they think the men were found guilty. Where Eli, bro, you ever heard somebody found guilty for corruption? Since where Eli, what time, in what history? And that's the reason why we keep on telling these people that these two parties will do nothing for the country.
The two parties were corrupt. That's the fact.
Yeah, they will do nothing for the country until Liberia can change their direction to a new one.
So you're telling Commissioner, what about
the Liberian people? And as we get older speaking and the people get older in the country living their lives and seeing their children suffer, one day they will rise up like people can take and they can take no more than what brought 1990 problem. They will rise up.
So why they will rise up? So why they will rise up?
People stealing. We see people becoming millionaires in government. Where civil servant can never make you a millionaire. It can get you access to other stuff. You can get loan, you can get LPA, but it can never make you a millionaire. These people got millions. Some of them never had businesses, doing nothing. Nobody know how they got this money. And then you just want us to sit here and say because there was no investigation and nobody was found guilty. With that lifestyle of the investigation right here that show us that they stole something. And that's the reason why Joseph Blatter government used to go after them and do the other things that is supposed to do. Nobody can tell the person, oh, you need to buy debt audit or you need to go and maybe start auditing your own people while they're in power. They can choose where to start. And once they start something, it means that they will go to power. And even if this government is gone, the other government will carry it. We saw it that Peabody said drug government did not have the guts to do it because they were busy collecting the money. They are all passing around now with a lot of money. And I will consistently be able to say this. There is no way for men about their body power. Because we knew he came from he had no money. This man had no money. So we know that it's not that I'm coming after anybody, but the truth, that's the truth. And all of a sudden, you can bury your money or missing it, and you can even have money to do this, and people see that you got money, you pay a whole island for your work. Come on now. And y'all say that we should just sit here and say, oh, nothing happened, the man earned his money. We want to know how he got the money, and we want to know why all those people were on the payroll, so that the government will investigate this. And we are looking forward to the proper investigation and evidence and testimony and everything, so that that people can set somebody in prison for the freaking corruption that going on in the country that got people dying for poverty. This is very serious. It is.
Dr. Peabody, can I come in, please?
Yeah, it's my turn.
Sylvester, please give me 30 seconds, please.
Go ahead.
Just 30
Go ahead.
seconds, please, Sylvester.
I'll make it 45 seconds.
Grace, it's hurting my head. You are talking about how the man built this. Have you asked Joseph Boakai? Have Joseph Boakai told her where he got $100,000 from to share before he became president? In North America?
Okay, on Joseph Boakai.
Wait. I answered a rhetorical question. It's a rhetorical question.
So great. According to you, that wouldn't the next president also investigate?
Exactly.
How can we investigate now?
Grace, wait.
Oh, okay. So he must do the wrong thing.
Thank you.
And then okay, I see your understanding, Grace.
You are asking, Grace. I asked the member 40 seconds. I asked the member 40 seconds, man. The only reason I mentioned that is this: you want the public and you want us to give credibility to an administration that is corrupt themselves, have made all the wrong decisions. The same thing you're asking Joseph Boakai to do to other people, he's doing it himself. So we must wait first until the next government comes to question Joseph Boakai. The man is not credible. The man himself said you are living on you are broke. You are living on loans. Suddenly, when he became president-elect, he's issuing $50,000 check. Where he got that money from? Nobody knows. What had become of the how you call the things there, man? The folks who organized the inauguration report. Have we heard anything about it?
The next government will investigate it.
We're waiting for the next government. Sylvester,
Thank you very deeply.
Sylvester.
For this process,
I will not tell you that what happening in Joseph Boakai government is right. Joseph Boakai government is not my cup of tea. I did not even want Joseph Boakai to be president.
So the next government will investigate.
So I just say to you, although you see all these things that he's doing, there's paperwork to prove and this and that. How can we say, okay, you're investigated president when the House of Representatives, the Senate themselves need to be investigated? So the country is in a total mess. That's what we are saying. So if the government say that they're investigating other people, we buy into it and can find some people guilty to bring some of their money back. We'll take that. That's what I'm saying.
For me, I think, and that's part of the process. Sometimes we all may have the people that you're saying, and everyone here got their own individual way of reacting to issues. Sometimes when we say it, people will have that kind of a fast thinking that we're trying to shield.
Lofa, I just want to know.
And yeah, Lofa, my Lofa can take course and I don't want to course.
Like your Lofa pissed right now. He coming with fire.
No, I told him many traditional zones are watching him closely. So
you can go south. Why you go south?
But yeah, here's what I believe in terms of this process, and it's not like we have to.
God, hold on 1 second. Anybody said this woman is so stupid, we're gonna block you. That is a very, you can't insult somebody.
It's wrong. It's actually, and I'm gonna and it's greed.
We're gonna block that person. I'm not even gonna call the name to dignify them. We're gonna block them.
Panelists, it's wrong. For you to sound that way is wrong. Then yesterday, one of them even referred to me and someone that I didn't know, somebody sent me information about someone that is a disgraced high school dropout. Or referring to me as a dumb disgrace.
That's about it. In the future, just my suggestion: don't even read their comment. Just block them.
Neo progressive.
Insulting is bad. Because if you don't agree with them, don't do it. But why are you insulting somebody? Saying it's stupid.
My view is my view. You don't have to agree with me.
Exactly. If you disagree with the person, then when you stand about you want to kind of insult someone, they kind of place.
My view is my view. If you don't agree with
me,
block you. Okay.
We can want to protect the interest of the show. That's why we can't go high on there sometimes. But these are no, I mean,
but we're not going to tolerate people cussing people. We'll block them.
About the process about what is unfolding in our country today, and that's part of the reason why in the public space we always collectively say if you want to talk about equity, your hands should always be clean. Right? So if you came in to say the agenda is to fight corruption, everyone encouraged to fight against corruption in our country. Everybody. This process that you invited Mr. Mangill on today about this supplementary pay process, it's a legal process that is that can go through the system. Supplementary pay, for instance, you have certain people, the government legally agree that we are certain people for this process. This current administration is doing that currently. We're doing this issue. Why are you inviting someone to just bring attention that those people past were corrupt? No. And you're doing the same and you're inviting. And very soon, as I was saying, if the people get to realize, when they come to the realization that this process is done for what we call for some political motive, and then just to keep the Liberian people, and the major thing is not being done, trust me, there's going to be some schools that are going to be loose up. And when those schools are loose up, there's going to be some tension and trouble back in the country. Now, there's multiple situations that's unfolding in the country that we need to pay our attention to instead of distracting the people and I want to do the poor business and believe that you're fighting corruption. But there's not corruption you're fighting. We just have to focus on those points. We've never come, I would never come for instance, personally to say, I'm coming to defend someone individually or the institution individually. There is this mindset. But on the record, CDC does not dismiss anybody when the we administration took over. Nobody, absolutely. What unfolded event? The other people here,
not civil servants, not civil servants.
Nobody whatsoever.
Political appointees, different civil servants.
Administration.
I know over 100 people that were dismissed.
They made the nuclear.
Where?
The list too long. I can't read it all.
All right, name two.
I mean, Ben.
Yeah, I said me too.
Over 100 people that was
why you messing that everybody? Why you messing is
they fired these people.
They were late.
I said that me too.
They were let off. They were let off, right?
No. Why you messing? They were less. I think you're missing something up here.
You talking about political appointees?
When Kim CDC came over,
they did.
They were less. I was circulating said these people should be employed. These were CDC did not dismiss nobody from the civil servant. Both
civil servants, political appointee, yes.
Man.
Nobody. What the president did before he took over, immediately after his inauguration, he dismissed all of the public officials and asked HR's heads to be acting in this position.
Oh, so he didn't dismiss nobody.
But people are two different group of people now. That educate our people.
Yeah.
There's political appointees and there's civil servants.
And what guy did it see?
My man, people were removed and other area was used as a dumping spot for citizens.
That everybody 1 minute.
I mean, people on the show, man. You want to disrupt the show.
Well, let's be honest here. Let's be honest.
Let it be made known.
It's the same cycle that's going on.
We provide everything.
Let it be made known here tonight that even those that were even dismissed at the time, it is that the president made that announcement, but immediately January 16th, all government officials, even if your government have won, you are considered dismissed.
Dismissed.
The president,
the Constitution is clear.
Until the president reappoint appointees, presidential appointees. You consider dismissed on the afternoon when the president take the
I'm not talking about former minister, former governor. They had to move, but I'm telling you about people. This is the same cycle we're looking at right here. So why are you blaming the UP?
I challenge you to call two names.
The city did not dismiss anybody.
I challenge you to call two names of civil servants that were dismissed by the CDC.
Nobody.
Don't tell me to call two names.
I said call two names. I challenge you two names.
We're having a question answer period. I can call 100. Don't make me get embarrassed.
Yeah, I said call two. I said 100.
Okay, let me call one name.
Hey, call the name.
Call the guy Morgan Plan.
No guy.
Let me conclude. Yeah, but listen, Dr. Peabody, and I will say this right. I'm on the record, and part of that process is that I was in the government, and we everything that unfolded at the time the We administration. What we even said was an interview. The president have traveled after the United Nations, the first visit to the United Nations in 2018. The president returned to the country, and there was this discussion to him about government people. He said no. He said he did not come to wish on anybody. No one going to get out of their job. He emphasized that. He said nobody. He said even his partisans were angry because there was this huge anticipation that the president would have taken everybody probably from the party headquarters and dumped them into government. He said, no, it's not going to work that way. And we are not going to dismiss people we met in government. He said, no, he's not going to do that. Right? And since the president didn't do that, so what they did was...
Okay, you ready for me to give you the names? I got the names. Want me to call the names?
Let's go for now. Let's go for Thomas.
You want to call the name now?
Peabody, okay to be wrong.
Listen, let me get the name. My friend Victor Kaiser was the head at the hospital.
He's a presidential appointee, Peabody.
Well, not presidential
Victor Kaiser was a presidential appointee.
Victor Kaiser.
He was the head of what?
Presidential appointee, Peabody.
You are the head of what? You are the head of what?
Victor Kaiser was a presidential appointee, Peabody. He was.
Victor Kaiser was not a presidential appointee.
What was his job?
He was not.
Where?
They went and fired Victor Kaiser.
What was his job?
President Weah said he did not want to see him there. He fired Victor from that job.
Peabody, what was his position?
Why you say that lie? You know
what was his position? Why you give us a question? What was Victor's position? What was Victor's position?
We have fired a lot of people. I name you one that you can't.
Peabody, what was Victor's position?
But you say you get one on your knee.
Peabody, what was Victor's position?
You don't manage nothing but Victor.
Victor, I'm my friend too.
Victor was not working. Victor was working there on a
what was his position?
On a Weah administration.
What was Victor's
position?
What was Victor's position, man? Peabody, what was Victor's position?
No, but you see, that's the
answer the question.
Talk the truth. I don't want to talk the truth when it comes to certain people. The same thing that's going on now happened in Weah government. Why you guys don't want to accept it?
Reverend Dr. Peabody. Reverend Dr. Henry Peabody.
I don't care what you call me.
What was Victor's position? What was Victor's position? Yes, what was the position they fired him from?
Yes.
But Victor was appointed by in Weah administration.
What was the position they fired him from?
He was the CEO at the hospital in Nima.
Thank you. And the CEO is a presidential appointee.
The president fired him.
The president can fire him. That was Victor guy appointed.
We're talking on the general basis of firing. We're talking the general basis of firing.
No, talking about firing.
Was hired by the Minister of Health.
All right, Peabody, let's do justice.
Did not want to see the guy there.
Peabody, let's do justice to our audience.
No, you're not doing justice because when it comes to
no. Wait, Peabody, let's do justice to our audience. Let's do justice to our audience. We educate. A lot of people are listening to us. The CEO of the Jackson F. Doe Hospital is a presidential appointee. Joseph Boyka just gave Victor Kaiser a green letter. The president, when the president of Liberia is elected, everybody who has a presidential appointed letter from the last government is deemed fired. The president
did not come from the last government.
He did not come from the last government. Listen, that's not argument. I ask you, the president did not come and fire civil servants. That was what I said. I never said he changed
there were a lot of people that were
appointee.
removed. Even people that were trained at the EPS were removed because the president wanted to bring his own people in. Let's be honest here. Come on, man.
Yeah, how about more nigga plan?
Let me just tell you something.
Even more Ali, you know more Ali. More Ali was still 7. They transfer him to Grand Crew. He resigned.
There's a situation in Bassa where a commissioner signed a deal on, I think, the 23rd or the 24th of January. It's a big issue. I think the president got inaugurated on the 22nd, right? They got signed a deal with a new institution, with a new committee on the 24th as commissioner. Right now, he's in big trouble. Oh. It's massive corruption because he should have been deemed out of job and he's
exactly.
Commissioner.
Commissioner, you are presidential appointee. No. Again, there's executive law should protect him. But he did something wrong and again he protected. Now, in the event where there's no one to replace him, he's still considered acting. If they didn't announce no one in his place, he's considered acting.
Let Lofa come in there. Lofa ain't say nothing.
And that's why the president we came out of that without releasing the HR should go and act.
Let Lofa say something.
Go ahead, Lofa. So he should not be in too much trouble.
So let me start off first of all by thanking Alex for being as upfront and vocal as he always tried to be.
I really
You
is.
cannot pamper. You cannot.
The solidarity is still on coach.
Wow.
Now you guys don't want to allow me to
Oh,
talk.
wow.
Now you guys
I'm
don't
sorry,
want me
I
to
mean, you
talk.
told that. Yeah, man.
These guys are serious, Lofa.
You see.
The
But
solidarity
it's
is
okay.
still on coach.
You know why I sat quietly and listened is because I wanted to prove a point here. When President Weah was elected, okay, the minute he built his mansions, nobody conducted any evaluation or investigation, as we will claim. He was being referenced as corrupt. He was being referenced as a thief. Some of us, and I was one of those, went to New York, DC, and other places protesting against President Weah because it was alleged that he was corrupt.
But you were wrong.
Guess what? No, hold on. Up until today's date, Ben, you cannot sit here and justify any of President Weah's action and claim that it was void of any kind of corrupt practice. So you cannot make the claim here when Alex say Amara Kone is corrupt, then you want him to use some form of alleged statement to certify his coming on the platform. Amara Kone, some of us, I started my professional career as a help desk tech, working at help desk. Amara started help desk. He claimed work IT overnight. Can Amara Kone own the farm that he owns today?
Yes.
Overnight. So hold on, Ben. Let me land. Stop. Don't do that.
Okay. All right, let me
So
read my
overnight. So overnight, Amara Kone, if we were to evaluate, all of what Amara Kone owned today, are you telling us that yes, he made so much money working at the World Bank, as you guys want people to believe that Amara Kone made all that money working at the World Bank, but yet and still he refused to publish his asset that was declared because he was embarrassed that the public will come to realize where he's being deceptive. Alex, you know the reason why your statements may come across a little bit annoying to a lot of our brothers is because you're not a politician. You just want what is right for Liberia. Nobody will agree with you until you can be a part of, the
right for Liberia.
Okay, so
you and Alex.
Alex, when you see all of the attacks coming at you, take it and just walk with it, because you know what? Like I said to you before, I told you, I said the corrupt few, they are now reproducing, and they have become more than the good people in Liberia. They have spread their tentacles to the extent where even when the innocent child is dying from curable disease, those around who are parents don't care, because if you are to highlight that, either a friend of theirs works at the hospital, and that will be highlighting corruption at the hospital. So they will defend such behavior. So don't be deterred. Stand up for the Liberian people and stand up for what is right. When we speak of corruption in Liberia, folks will get offended. But you know what? At the best of it, the masses on ground will appreciate your honesty. They will appreciate your advocacy and your sincere advocacy, because you, at the end of the day, Ben Sanvee over here.
Yeah.
When Ben leave from here today, all right? Yeah. Right now, where Ben says that, Ben shouldn't have to get up. Ben has a remote in his house where he pushed the remote, it takes water out of the fridge and hands the water to him. He drinks.
What does that have to do with anything?
Exactly. So now Ben will not sit here and tell you, oh, everything is this and that in Liberia. But you, Alex, you been there. Okay, you live the life, and you've been through all of these things. So you're fighting for
Lofa,
the
come on, I need to respond to Lofa.
So hold on, you're not letting me so big.
Not
So
for the
all
record,
of
I need to respond to
you're not
Lofa.
letting me so big. You're not letting me in.
He's talking about my remote in my house. I need to respond to him.
I know. Let me land. To be honest with you, we can't be doing these things, bro. To be honest, let's be realistic here when we discuss national issue, because at the end of the day, there are people who are going to bed hungry, though. There are people who are dying from curable diseases. You and I, Ben, you know, if you were to push the button on your phone and dial 911, you're not questioned as to what you need to pay for gasoline. You're not asked to pay for the driver who's coming to pick you up. Unfortunately, that is the case with our brothers and sisters in Liberia. When we are to talk, okay, about quality education, your kids and that of mine, they are trying to acquire the best of education, and that comes with the system. Unfortunately, the system can never provide these amenities to Liberians. If the corrupt few continue to do what they're doing and they are being protected to some extent, the law, because the system is so faulty, it protects these individuals from being prosecuted. You alluded to something that I want to highlight here. You spoke of Bonnie Samukai, of everything that he did. You and Alex both. What became of it? He was literally just pat on the back of his hands, and he walked scot-free. What becomes of those who were victimized? We are yet to point to at least 20 or more people who were found corrupt through the judiciary system that today are being, prosecuted or with sentence. Unfortunately, we can't do that. Let us stop making mockery of the situation and hopefully hold these government officials accountable for their
Dr. Peabody, maybe
Alex haven't spoken yet.
Yeah, maybe what I would say, which will help Ben and the other people probably. It's not, I don't think Ben then saying, American and not corrupt or this and that. Even us in journalism.
So you got not let me.
When we read an article.
But you learned already, man.
Not everybody want me to learn. Okay, I'll keep quiet.
I know, for example, under the George administration, there was an asset recovery team. They think Councillor Serena Cephas and other people were on that asset recovery team. One of the persons that they put up on the light on was American. I know that for a fact. One of the persons that they put on the light on.
They didn't find nothing.
No, it was not that they did not find anything.
Nothing.
They did not. The first thing, that entire asset recovery team was squashed at some point. They were not that for finding anything. They did not even pursue these cases to logical conclusion. But Ben and other people are not saying that these people are not corrupt. They're only saying the way to use it. Because, like, for example, the asset recovery was not followed up to any letter like way the Boakas administration is putting out an arrest warrant now or Interpol and for Tue or other people and stuff like that. The Georgia government did not pursue these matters. Yes, it's true. Amra has a very large fund, over $7 million in Bapolu County. I know that Amra got some property on the old road. It's my understanding, all of that. But how do you equate it to corruption without any indictment?
Exactly.
How can you say in that money the man made in America that he brought here, that he put here? How can you say in that money he made a finance minister that you are investing? Because the system we have at the time is not holding accountable.
Exactly.
So when you come on a platform like this, then that what the people saying the jargons you must use allegations, you must use reportedly. They're not saying the men are corrupt, but your sister did not pursue them.
Well, again, I think Alex was very clear.
Alex was very clear when he said. Let me provide information. I heard Edwin Snow on a radio station. I think on OKFM. Somebody called Edwin Snow to ask him because I think Alex talked about that. Somebody talked about Edwin Snow farm. You know what Edwin Snow told him? He said he took a loan from whatever bank name, the farmer Access Bank. Access Bank. He said that's agriculture Ben.
So
He took
Ben,
a loan to do it to expand his farm.
Ben, when Alex spoke, he was very clear. Alex said, based on report.
And then he said the man is corrupt.
But then he said he's corrupt.
He said the man is corrupt at the end.
Yes, he did say he said based on report. So his statement of considering American corrupt is based on the report.
But even the report says alleged. The report is likely.
Okay,
it didn't give a definitive statement.
In the report, it is stated that they have evidence to certain aspects of things. So Alex is not wrong.
But
he is absolutely
that we
correct.
have not seen
If
those
he is-
evidences.
If he is to, you have not seen any evidence. Neither have we seen any evidence of those we reference as being corrupt. You mentioned earlier, Robert.
So you have to say
Robert,
allegedly.
1 second, Robert.
Allegedly.
1 second, Robert. You mentioned earlier that Senator Darius Dillon is a pathological liar.
Because he's admitted to it, it's a fact.
An instance of a lie does not make one a pathological liar.
No. Don't even go there.
The brother let your last name now.
Are we serious tonight?
I'm coming to sequence, right?
Right.
Are we serious tonight?
No, he can fire Dillon.
I can fire Dillon.
Okay, you want defense Dillon because you want to Alex for sweet.
I have a question, right?
Lofa Julius, one lie cannot make you a pathological
I have
liar.
a question, right?
Many lies. How many times you put out the mama?
My question is, I have two questions. Right?
Yeah, man.
So my question is, first of all, why the police deploying people when LAC invite people to go for questioning?
Thank you.
And they're brandishing the weapons and all this stuff. The second thing is that you think it is illegal to go and say you're going to search the former president home. Can a court get order to somebody to do it? Can it happen? Because this is what trending though.
Is that true?
We are receiving information that
So yeah,
receiving information that this is what they're
doing. If you look at the letter from Clark Martinez asking for police to go, they change the office and get them.
Having pickup of ERU.
But my thing is that do you know what the government has? Or do you know the information given to them that they want to really go and search the former president?
Except maybe some security related treasonable issues. I think security related treasonable issues and stuff like that. But I think the law is clear about former presidents. What they did in their time, they can't be held responsible for it. I think for former president, things
that's
that
what
they
the
did.
law said.
Yes.
Yes.
Who got it?
Public announcement.
Maybe some treasonable issue that could be different. But
Can I just make a quick public announcement here?
It's difficult to call
them comments. I'm reading comments on here. Somebody referenced people are throwing markers over here. Guys, if you notice anybody just throwing insults, just tag my name under their name, and I'll do the rest of it. I would take.
Yeah, guys, we don't want to block you. You're entitled to your comment.
The minute you notice somebody is throwing insult at someone else, just tag Lofa under it.
Let me double down.
I would do it.
We don't need you.
I would take the blame. Let anybody say I'm emotional, I'm sentimental, I'm everything. I would take the blame for that.
About the topic, but Chris,
no. Anybody insult, do you use any cuss word, will block you. Will definitely block you.
Do you know what it means to go if you start? Mind you now, the country. I repeat again, the country is divided, and then you see recent things are happening. Right, citizens are being removed from their jobs. The free speech has been curtailed and everything. Now, the country is getting you put attention on the country. To go now, the main opposition leader in the country, okay, the largest opposition party, to go and say you will search the president's house. You know what it means?
They search Donald Trump house.
And all these things happening too fast.
What is law? For me, it's about the law.
So the law of our country.
The laws in America, when it comes to that, I don't know if that is in law guy in Liberia.
Liberia, they make every law in America. So
well, no, not
necessarily.
How credible is this information?
The credibility is wrong. But here is it. the constitution of our country.
They come official who hearing it. People is not one person hearing it.
Timothy, the constitution of the country is very clear on that process.
Yeah.
Article 61 of the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia.
Can you read
talk
it?
about presidential immunity.
Immune, yes.
Right.
Immune from.
So yeah, so they say it goes blah blah blah.
And I think it's blanket. I think
very clear on that.
They say presidential immunity, never say ex-president.
They say when you while you serve as president,
while you are president.
While you are president,
yeah,
everything you do, you protect on that while you're president of the Republic of Liberia. Article 61 is very clear on that. So
okay, yeah.
If I grace,
so
that thing
the
only part of Article 61 before you read the NRA will say criminal issues.
The president should be immune from any suits, action or proceedings, judicial or otherwise, and from arrest, detention, or other actions on account of any act done while president of Liberia pursuant to any provision of the constitution and laws of Liberia. So now. Anything so that the article protects him though.
But quickly. Wait a minute. Quickly, I'm not reading verbatim, right? But go to the end of it. It says something to the end. But at that end, it talks about criminal issue also. Go to the end. Go to the end.
So you are telling other constitution saying that the president can steal while he stole the
no. It didn't.
Let me just get you something, Grace.
No, that's at the end.
No, Grace. Let me provide further clarity for you. You see what
go to the end.
You see that
the president shall be.
Pee-wee, 1 second. Pee-wee, 1 second. Pee-wee.
Let people one at a time, man.
Yeah, Pee-wee, 1 second. Grace, you see what the same ambiguity that was happening here in the United States.
Yes.
Guess what? The Supreme Court just clarified it and literally says when you president, you got immunity. And you notice that what the Democrats are saying, they need to reform the Supreme Court. Because the Supreme Court, there was a question about whether Donald Trump, his lawyers was using that to say he's immune. They're not supposed to be going after him. He went to the Supreme Court reaffirmed it. That's why you see the special counsel now in the Donald Trump case has asked for a postponement because he's trying to figure out how to proceed with the Supreme Court's opinion.
Yeah,
so,
Ben.
Can we please
the Grace point? 1 minute, Lofa. 1 minute, Lofa. 1 minute.
I want to zoom in on this for you to read it. But for the sake of our listening audience, can you read completely this particular article here, and then we can discuss it because we don't want to confuse our people.
But before I read it, Grace struck a very important point also, and it will answer a great point at the end. So it says Article 61. The president shall be immune from any lawsuit, actions. You got to bring it back. You got to read it as I read it. And you got to bring it to my level a little bit.
Don't see.
Okay. Is that good?
Okay. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
See it like this.
Any suit, action, or proceeding, judicial or otherwise, and from arrest, detention, or other action on account of any act done while president of Liberia pursuant to any provision of this constitution or any other laws of the republic. The president shall not, however, be immune from prosecution upon removal from office for the commission of any crime act done while president. So that point answer Grace issue also.
So Grace, I don't want you to just pick back what it says. The president shall not, however, be immune from persecution upon removal. Removal meaning if the president, not if you got defeated during an election, if you
committed criminal action
for criminal action, that's what it means.
Yes, criminal action, and that aspect is only criminal aspect of the constitution.
So, but
that was
just
debated
said that
before.
Samuel Doe changed the constitution to very suit here people. Because
they were not Samuel Doe. They were not Samuel Doe. It was group of intellectuals.
Now, intellectual, you have a constitutional committee.
It must chair this process. It was not Samuel Doe, Grace. It was.
Say the president can steal, but when you move from office, you can't get behind because you can't try to prosecute you.
Grace, I spoke to a lawyer. I spoke to a lawyer once on the same provision, and this is what the lawyer told me. The lawyer said the crafters of the Constitution did this to make sure that when you're president of the country, you are not worried about taking actions. Because if you are worried that if I took this action, let's say for
office.
yes, if I leave office, people will come after me. People
Yeah.
want the president to be free to act.
Yeah.
That's
So
what
you
I
should be
know.
free to steal too.
No, it's
No.
not just you are looking at only one thing. You are looking at the criminal. But take for example, the illegal dismissal of the young people from MCC, for example. When the president leave power, then those young people sue the president and say, can't you go for illegally removing or you will pay or your salary you took. So you don't want to start that every time the president thinks about taking a decision, you got to be thinking twice, what will happen next? That's why it was crafted a way to free him up his mind that I will go to bed when I get out of here and I will sleep sound.
But then they were supposed to add the part where if the president invests some money from the country. They were supposed to add that part.
All right, but let me ask this question. Is it true that there are attempts to go and search the former president home?
So it is unconfirmed, but it's a high.
Well, it's credible. There's credible. Let me tell you. Let me say what I know. There's credible information that they are trying to find the legal backing to do that.
Oh no, that's wrong. That's wrong.
Yeah,
but I can tell you that they are trying to find the legal backing.
You gotta be very careful because
that's very wrong.
According to their source, here's what they are thinking. Here's the naive thing they're thinking about here. They believe that the president got some government property in his compound or whatsoever thing. That's the kind of a thing they're thinking outside of the line. But that is, they will be terrible. They will be dangerous and very terrible.
That would be that would be a mistake on the part of this administration. Again, I think that if there are any information, government properties, are you kidding me? If there are any information as it pertains to any criminality or anything of that sort, I think that this administration have what it takes to go to legal route.
Randall Bwaka.
Taking people. Damn, remember, yeah, man. People talking, they interrupting people today. I don't got no voice, man.
You are still on. You are still
but
being
everybody
seen,
get
though.
talking. I don't have a voice.
Robert, you are still being seen and heard.
Yeah, but you can't be putting the thing up while we're talking.
But right, it's still improving your voice,
man.
So let me
the
say
voice
this.
improving. So keep on talking more.
Yeah.
Robert, you give me some juice. You still
you are still being seen and heard. Go
I'm trying.
Round, take some Hennessy on the rock.
No, I'm trying, my man. I'm trying.
Yeah,
but listen, on a serious note, let me say this. I think it would be a bad idea for the government to attempt to enter the compound of the former president.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now, the former president and his people will act. They will not allow you to enter that compound. I think it's a bad idea to do that.
So you inciting violence
on
in the
grounds
country?
that the president might have government property in his house. If the president have government property in his house, take the president to court. Follow the legal.
Exactly.
You can't take people and go to the president's house to search for proper government.
No, but let me ask a question. Let me ask a question, Robert. Robert, let me ask you a question. What if, and I'm asking a question here, right? Because I don't believe they would just get up and go say they're searching the former president's house, right? What if they are able to get a warrant? What if?
If they are able to get a warrant, then we will question the act just read.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Right? So I don't think the Supreme Court will back that.
Okay.
Alex said the same
because
thing
they were not just they're not jungle justice, right? They will not just jump on and go to the main house and say you're opening the door. They will have to show a warrant.
Yeah, and that warrant,
and we have a warrant to search this property.
And that warrant will have to justify. That warrant will have to justify the article.
Well, you're talking here like the law that's serious law in that country. They can do anything. The people can do anything.
The question remains.
So, Barry, you think the reaction they can't.
That's what I'm saying. That's my fear. That's my main fear. That will not happen.
This is a government here.
Well, Robert, you don't know. They're supposed to use security skill. Maybe the president will be out of the country one day and then move you and search your home.
This is what government trying to do this. So you don't just start saying that. I said the citizen will go there and die because you cannot continue your life for people. So you're suffering. You couldn't even pay your train school fee. You're begging. Because they want to say, yeah, you want to sacrifice your life and they will kill you while you got
That's what happened when you give up government so quick. Instead of counting your foot over, you should have counted that foot over the way and give it.
You got it, man.
You know, I want to ask you.
You even count the foot over, you give it out.
Dr. Peabody.
The result not even out. The result not even out.
You give it out. That's what happened when you give it out.
I'm sorry.
Don't blink
But no, at least the man left power. At least the man gave up power. He's not greedy for power. He gave it up.
No, it's not. The result don't even try to check it. You give it up.
You go to that man house. You go to that man house. That'll be easy to you.
But let me ask you a question. So again, I want us to intellectualize this thing. Right? And everybody can ask this question, answer this question. If the government is able, right, to get a warrant, a search warrant, to search former President George Weah's house, should he cooperate with that warrant?
That's thank Ben.
Can I answer that?
It's the first time in my life I would agree with you.
Everybody one at a time. One
at a time. Who going first?
Let me go first. Okay. I think.
30 seconds. Answer the point. 30 seconds.
It will be a whole legal battle.
Yeah.
It will be a whole legal battle. George Weah's lawyers will also go at the same Supreme Court.
Thank you.
To counter that action. You see how we saw.
But you not answer the question.
No, but you answer my question. I want revert.
Right? He answered it. First, you lawyer will go.
No, let me revert. You get a Toga, come here, Rabba. When you get a warrant, right? Toga, when you get a warrant, when it's a search warrant, that warrant empowers the marshal and the police or whoever paramilitary unit that is going. Once they hand that warrant to you, they can move into your property. That you don't have time to go to Supreme Court.
Thank you.
The question I ask,
exactly,
if President George Weah gets up tomorrow morning and he sees a battalion of police armed paramilitary people at his door, they say, what are you doing here? Say, we have a warrant to serve on the former president for search of his property. Should the former president cooperate?
Can I speak to this, Ben? I want to answer this question. I think as
30 seconds.
As a peaceful citizen that President Weah projects himself to be, I think he should honor the warrant. All right, let them go and then pursue it at the highest court instead of resisting, because that actually symbolizes
time
way more than we want. So I would say he should honor the warrant and allow people to search it.
You still got your answer. Let me just say it for my
the next question. You get answer.
Everybody respond.
Everybody respond.
Next one, too many. Go to too many. Go ahead.
Yeah. The first thing is this, though.
I'm presiding on the womb.
Have there been a precedent?
No, there's no precedent.
Answer the question.
Yeah, so now
there's no precedent.
That article of the Constitution that protects the president. Don't forget now, the articles are going to Supreme Court because they are being interpreted well. Because
you not answering the question.
We have honor the warrant.
You know what? Let me say something. Let me help you quickly.
No, Ben.
Lofa, my question for you today. Lofa, wait, my question. Wait.
Ben, enjoy your own question. You want to answer it?
I know what I'm doing. Answering the question. I know what I'm doing. The thing Tomalin is raising, what I want to say, once that warrant is issued, it means the judge that issues that warrant have already deemed that constitutional clause not binding on him.
Thank you.
So that's what I'm trying to say. That's why I asked the question, should he honor it? Because once you get a warrant, it means you got a warrant from a judge. You got a warrant from a judge. The only judge can issue warrant.
Yeah, but my question, my thing is that have you been a precedent?
No, there's no precedent.
Okay, this will be the first one. This will be the first.
Oh, yo, because now
Should he honor it?
That's some okay. I'll answer now.
Yeah, that's the only answer, ba.
Peabody, go ahead.
No.
Okay,
Let
let me
Tomalin
go
answer
ahead.
the question. Let Tomalin answer this question.
Nobody,
Peabody, 1 minute, too many few seconds, 10 more seconds.
Tomalin answer the question.
Should he honor the warrant?
Yeah, let me get my response.
Should he resent because he don't honor it? He rejects it.
the president, he will seek for clearance.
No, it's not the issue. Should he honor it?
Too many when it came up.
Should he honor it?
Another legal action is to see as resistance.
Guys.
Please, man.
I'm sorry that the
The former president, or what?
Listen. When they give a warrant, it means the police, the army, everybody moving in there. Yes, my point here, President. We are being a loving and a lawful, respectful man who respect the law by giving us his presidency before they even contact it. Should just comply and let him do it. He's a man of law.
Robert, should he honor it?
Give me a chance. So I will re-echo what Dr. Peabody. I'll re-echo what Dr. Peabody just said.
Yeah.
Because it's a warrant.
Yes.
And because I'm a law-abiding citizen, I will advise Mr. President, and given the record he himself has said to be a peaceful man, I will say, Mr. President, in as much as you might have a lot of questions, legal questions too about the president yet, you must honor this warrant. But after, we should go to the Supreme Court and argue this.
Thank you.
Alex, should he honor it? Alex, 30 seconds. Should the president honor it?
If I put a mile at different blue, the first one to put a mile.
I have no comment on this.
Integrate. Should he honor it?
If I first one to put a mile.
But why you have no comment on it?
But what are you? You got a yes for Alex? What grade she go off?
Who put Grace in the back?
No, she
No, we must demand that Alex answer that question. Why you got no comment?
No, but Grace, go ahead.
Well, I would say that Nia is a law-abiding citizen. Yes. No, all of us are law-abiding citizens.
No, he is law-abiding. I can say that. Yes.
What we do is tell your people to stay down because this is a government. If they come there, they're going to be hit. The people are not going to take that thing for no play because this is a ex-president. So to be a law-abiding citizen of Liberia and you serve in that kind of capacity, you will go to a court and let due diligence take its place. That's what I would say.
And for me to close on the issue, I would say openly on the principle of rule of law, the president should honor it and prove to them that he had nothing to add.
Anyway.
So can I speak now?
Go ahead.
Ben, answer your own question.
No, I want to answer. I just want to say something. I want to make a statement. First of all, I believe he will honor it. But no, I believe he will honor it. Let me tell you why.
Thank you.
Let me tell you, I believe he will honor it. But let me also say this: it will be the stupidest decision this government will ever make.
Yeah, especially when they find nothing. Especially when they find nothing.
Tell you what will happen politically, right? Because look, there's something Charles Bronson used to say: the law has reasoning. Sometimes what is legal is not always expedient or right. Oh, right. So, if this government is able to secure, because like I said, the information I have received is that they are trying. That is the reason they are trying to find the legal backing to be able to say they get a warrant to do it. Right? If this government, for whatever reason, whether they twist or George arm or whether they get George to issue it or whether they do anything, if they're able to get a warrant and they enter George Weah's premises, it will be
a misstep, a complete misstep.
I can tell you, it will be the beginning of a major political crisis.
That would be wrong. That would be bad.
It will be a complete
misstep.
It will be. It will require even ECOWAS to get involved. I can tell you that clearly.
That would be wrong. That would be
embarrassment already been caused.
No, but it's not about embarrassment. It's not necessarily about embarrassment.
I thought you guys. Somebody has not go and say, "Oh, okay, Sonny, whatever." Go check that.
And what I've been hearing, what I've been hearing is not specifically about something in Weah's house. What I've been hearing about has been something that has started long before even the inauguration. The information I've gathered is that I think Weah has some cars
Yeah, I said, no, I said.
Yeah, that the government has been saying they want.
Especially the Escalade. The Escalade he
getting
drove.
messages.
You remember the
Escalade?
Escalade?
I don't vehicle.
Several
I don't vehicle in the yard.
Several vehicles.
I won't call the
And especially the EPS or so, they've been saying they want these vehicles.
So now the person,
All right, and we are saying to
when
them
did that
that
deal
it was
happen?
his private money that
Yes.
paid for these vehicles. It was not government money.
But then he
Yeah.
got
I
to
think
prove
this is where the issue.
documentation to prove that his private money paid for you.
Yeah, I
Cannot
think
take
there where the
government
issue is.
property.
This is what I got.
Yeah, the thing is a vehicle. It's a vehicle issue.
So
It's a
let me ask you a
vehicle
question.
issue. I've been hearing.
So let me ask you a question.
They
Tomalin.
want to talk about social security. They can't go buy the
So,
car.
man,
They want to talk social security.
So let me ask this question, guys. Let me ask this question.
All that money for social security. They ain't gonna buy it by the car.
So let me ask this question. So if that's the case, then you don't need a warrant to go do research, because here's the thing: even with a warrant, entering the compound and seeing those cars, how do you justify still that those vehicles are government vehicles?
Exactly.
So Robert, on the issue of Robert, on the issue of
So Tommy, you saying that your
Robert,
glasses I can get?
No, let Lofa speak, please. Lofa will answer the question.
So on the issue of needing a warrant to enter his facility, yes, they need it. You know why? Because it would be unlawful for them to just bust in his home and start doing.
No, my question, Lofa, my question is, if it's about vehicle and they enter the house and they see multiple vehicles in the yard, how then can they prove that those vehicles are government vehicles?
What if that's what I'm saying to you? So, Robert, here's what I'm trying to say, right? My thing here is, in order
government asset in his possession, you communicate to him.
So Tomalin, okay. So here's my thing, Robert.
But now one person really talking now.
Yeah, no, they're just jumping over each other.
Let me hear me out. If they establish that he has government assets in his possession, they should communicate to him. If he refuses, then you can use the code to get a warrant. I don't think the AG will allow. Just do. You respect the president. If you have a problem with the president, communicate to the man. You just go and soon the house in the morning, surround the house. You want to charge the house? No.
Tomalin, first of all,
show respect to the former president. You can't just say, "Oh, I will just show up in the morning, surround the house." Say to the president, and mind you now, in America here, they inform Biden, they inform Trump before they went to the house. So we all compare. Yes, true. They were informed.
Yeah, they did. They did inform him.
That is not. They don't have to let you know when they are.
No, they informed him. They were courteous. They informed the FBI. Informed him before.
President, we are. This is what we want to do. And if you refuse that, you go to the get warrant. Why don't they go shoot it up in the morning? So I house say,
yeah, but so you see, Tommy.
So here's my thing. First and foremost, when you're notifying whoever or property that you intend to, whatever you're doing a research or whatever it is, you don't have to state specifically when you're coming. You just say, we are in the process of making this decision. We will come there. So whenever that decision is made, it is already stated. If President Weah is this guy who he claimed to be so peaceful, Tomalin, you and I will agree that he should just submit, and based on the warrant, allow these people to go here and search the home. Okay. But here's my only thing that I'm saying to you.
Okay.
Why it is truth that he should just abide by the law, I think he should pursue it to the Supreme Court after that. Because that way he's trying to exercise his constitutional mandate.
In the first place, the former president has a Secret Service, EPS, DTS signed with him, and they are armed. This is what I mean now. They are armed. So now you will communicate with them. How did they? We all compare.
I'm about to say he got his former president alert. They will alert his people.
The president. This is what we want to come and do. Now they will do it the right time. You won't come to treat the former president to ridicule him. You can't do that.
How is that a form of ridiculing somebody?
Ben, I want to even in Liberia, we can give the former president security briefing.
Notification.
My thing is, I will say that. Let me just say something. The former president, since he's a peaceful man, the government have. I want to say something. I'm going to make a point. He's innocent. If the car he bought it with his own money, then he can allow the people to come. Because when you're innocent of those things, it doesn't matter to you. they can come in and do a search warrant and whatsoever documentation they got to prove that this car is not for him, or the cars that he's holding to is not for him, except for government. Then they can go ahead and do that. I don't think that's a big deal.
Yeah,
I do not think so.
First of all, for me,
go to the GSA. Why would go to
that's what I'm about to say.
Exactly.
They don't need a search warrant.
Exactly.
For me, listen. For me, if it's an issue.
I want to I purposely highlighted Leo's statement here because you guys are claiming Trump was actually informed, all right, with detail.
But Trump, you're informed.
I think we need to do our research. I don't think FBI will inform you to come to search your house.
That's an intelligence issue. Not inform you. Don't move there.
Yeah,
why you guys trying to deceive the people?
If you want to wait, you want to inform the men on your attention different.
No.
But these are listen. These are two issues in the play. Trump's situation was border on national security, and the other one is not national security.
Exactly. My only point here is this, right? My only point is
exactly.
You're right.
The Boakai
You're progressive. Thank you. Yes.
The Boakai administration have got to think about this and be smart. Pick your battles. If this is simply about verifying,
if a car,
I don't think it works. The security risk when it comes to look at the end of the day, we are not encouraging violence yet, and we will encourage the president to follow the law. But you've got to also remember, this is a very popular president. This president,
so he should get away with it.
Just wait now, please don't interrupt me, Chris, please. This president,
no. It's not good for
but let's no. What I'm saying is, if it's
finished.
Oh my gosh, man.
Finished.
Yeah, my people.
You are right here, America.
When I regain my voice, when I regain my voice,
you saw it. Eh?
For me, America
is so Trump to say he won't leave office.
For me, I have to. I will end on this note. I will end on this note, Peabody. For me, if this thing is about car, because I didn't know if it was about car. First of all, if it's about car, it's the dumbest thing I've heard. Because if you've claimed the former president got government cars, right? You don't need a warrant to retrieve that car. You don't, except he refuses, right? You can reach out to the GSA. You can reach out to the former president. The former president can communicate. Or the former president say he don't want to buy the car with his money. He can show you his car paper. He can show you how he bought his car. Case closed. You don't need a warrant to go into the former president yard for car business. I never knew if it was car issue. GSA is supposed to be the custodian of all of Liberian government's property. Any vehicle that is bought or any property that is bought that it should be for the Liberian government, the GSA should have record of that particular asset, right? So if GSA believes that the former president of Liberia got government cars and he won't give it back to the people, I think there are better channels than to go about saying you're going to go issue an arrest warrant, or search warrant on the former president's house.
For me, the government got a lot of things they should be worried
about. So
are
you closing?
They have a lot to be worried about. They'll be focusing
too much.
All right? A lot to worry about. The money that Sylvester Crispy took from Social Security. Sylvester Crispy took from Social Security account. They're using it to buy additional car. Come on, those are minor things. You're thinking about the bread and butter issue like everybody would say. Then they're thinking about the former president having car and stuff like that. I think it's nonsense. I don't think it makes sense. I think they should focus on the money. Sylvester Crispy took almost $1 million for NSA. Social Security. Let them try and see what they can do with that one.
But the president right here in Atlanta. The president right here in Atlanta. I think they're supposed to leave in the next 3 days. Have you heard anything? Is that where are there any momentum? He's supposed to be delivering a keynote speech here. Look, again, I think they're majoring in a minor here. And as a government, and matter of fact, not just as a government, anyone for that matter, you are to pick your battles. If the president used public funds to purchase his vehicle, there are many, many other ways to ascertain this and make sure that those are returned. But again, having folks go to his house, I think that's a grave mistake, and you don't want to.
Can I do my closing?
Well, this cannot be. It can be orange. It gotta be different. It gotta be apple too. So, so who put this thing up?
So I will do my closing. So we honestly.
Oh wait! Is there a costing right here?
Yeah.
Let me
finish. Yeah, we gotta go. We got like 5 or 6 more minutes. 7 minutes.
Go ahead.
So,
Go ahead,
but,
Grace.
but I would say that,
Yeah,
although
who
they're
keeps
saying that
touching these
the,
things now? My God, you
the,
got to put that down. Lofa,
the
it's enough.
government has a lot of
Let's put that
other
down.
issues that are happening, doesn't negate the fact that corruption happening in the government, they need to still investigate those matters. And no man is above the law. I don't believe anybody's above the law. You can be president or king or Queen Elizabeth. If you not abiding by the law and you commit a crime, you should be put to the task and investigated for your crime. So if there's anything that I don't know what's going on, this is just a news we're hearing. If the government has anything to actually investigate the former president, they should do that. Thank you.
So, Grace, think about this. Why you
You-
think Donald Trump is not in prison for 34 counts of felony today? Think about it.
Because
You and I will be locked up today.
For one.
For two
Yeah.
or one. Half.
No. Not true. The guy from they ain't go to jail. They ain't.
Donald Trump, Donald Trump,
So Dr. Peabody, let me just say something.
Dr. Peabody, don't put your country
he
days
starts to
and
run for
minutes.
president, he didn't have to wait.
I beg
That's why the lawyer put in a second plea there for them to wait for, because he's running for president. But when he was not president, when investigating him, you saw the
Have you ever seen a convicted felon run for president or vote? Lisa said run for president.
Robert, let me ask you a quick question. You're asking excuse me, Grace, this question. What about Stanton Weatherspoon? Stanton Weatherspoon, is he in jail now?
Huh?
The man going to jail.
The man buying time.
He buying time. I think
he buying time.
Okay,
so 3 times you can buy.
Okay, so then you can so the continuous. So let us not make it seem like Trump cannot go to jail. The system works and it will work.
No,
Let's
Trump cannot
accept
go
that.
to jail. He has no jail time. He's protected.
Trump will not go to jail. Leave
They
that.
always
That
say,
thing.
But Stanton will go to jail.
When?
Let's not change the topic. I'm just giving you an example.
And he not passing.
He will go to jail.
Like uncle the judge.
Nobody
has done 2 times now that they tear 1 year. You can't surpass the tear push back.
That's not how it works.
Okay, we see how it works.
Gentlemen, it's been a great show. Let's do our closing. We got 7 more minutes to go.
For the sake, again, in the issue about governance, there's something we talk about, the greater good of the country, the sanity of national security. And that's why in some cases, and that's why today, as my dear brother Raul was just saying just now, Donald Trump is going to be protected in this country. The cycle of the presidency, the presidential club, is very sacred in this society, and is sacred in all other society. The only country that will be full-headed to not adhere to the sacredness of that office, that means trying to invite some huge level of crisis in the country. And I'm saying this. The Bureau is a country that went through a devastating civil crisis. I don't think it will be prudent for any leadership currently to buy into the idea of trying to go after a president for the sake of vehicles. That would be a repugnant decision. That would be a very repugnant decision on the part of any administration. What I would think is that to take the sanity, and that does not mean we're trying to evade accountability. No, there's no accountability we're evading here. This man did nothing wrong. This man got nothing to hide. This man was very benevolent in terms of trying to protect the peace and security of our country. He willingly, even before the announcement of the results, he had considered and placed a call to the incoming president of the country. If he came today, you want to allow other dangerous element around the president to push you to take a decision that will erode this peace. History would not forgive you if you were to allow the country to plunge back into any chaos. I think this is not a good decision. If it is known that the president did things that is totally outside the law, that's a different thing. We always speak against that. But in need of 2, 3, 4, 5 vehicles, that's in the company, you want those vehicles, or some EPS, some junk knucklehead sitting somewhere believe that they need certain thing and they're trying to push your line. I think we need to desist from that and focus on the greater process of the country moving forward. Focus on the bread and butter issue of the people. The economic liberation process you promised, the rescue mission, to focus on rescuing the people. No, if we don't rescue the people, we will soon.
No, Kev is not doing that. The guys in studio or somebody else. Kev didn't do that.
If we
Can't put
don't
that,
quickly, if we don't rescue the people, we'll soon. If the rescue mission fail, we'll soon move to recovery mission, and recovery mission and not good mission. Because in a year, was only having the person for that rescue. Then they would now say rescue mission over. Now they're trying to recover. And
Gotta
recovery,
recover.
taking
But
the,
you know,
because you just said quickly.
Guys, we got 5 minutes to go. Let's end this
in my
quickly.
Yeah,
closing,
you just,
in my closing.
Toga quickly. Toga, you just said
Yeah, in
something
my
great.
closing.
Toga
Go
said
on.
quickly that people are eating from the dumper now, right? It would not take time.
Yes, in the
So
news.
rescuing them from the dumper will start to recover their bodies from the dumper. So it's wrong. So we need to focus.
And,
Go ahead.
and in all of this, you know, it's just too early for me to have all of these. When you take over a country, and with the experience I have had with some of the institutions, for example, that I have managed, so now within 3-4 months, you want to put systems in place. You want to organize the territory. You don't want it too toxic. I think within 6 to 7 months, President Bouaka should come back and start thinking, what do people need? How can we solve the Liberian people problem? We don't need all of these. I think even ECOWAS, even the U.S. embassy and the U.S. government are sitting back. They will not even allow this kind of thing to happen. That you move on to it. Today, you just try to move on a senator from my Gibby. You saw how chaotic it almost turned on. You have to send police. Just a senator from my Gibby. Think about if you're going for a former president. So you got to be thinking. You just gone 6 to 7 months. How do you solve the problem of the place here? How can we bring in new companies? How can we get more people to get jobs? Look at the American election I'm following, for example. Most of the people are talking about the economy and economic growth. Now, what people are focused on today, they're not talking whole day about how to put people in jail, how to lock people off for day, how to do day. People talking about
Trump talking about that one. We're not Trump.
Trump talking. So Trump talking.
We're not Trump talking that. He talking. He said he found out a woman. Everything he talking nothing there.
I mean, we got to change this game. Too many people are jobless, and the thing I was talking about the whole issue of people on the dump site is a serious issue. I think some company, some rice company dumped some rice at some place, and the public were running there to pick up the rice, and it's almost getting on the Liberian market. It tell you the desperation. It tell you how poverty-stricken our people are. These people need opportunity. Jobs must be created. People must get back to where this country must prosper. To leave all the thing here, to start focusing how we can go to president or this, former president or this, that it will make it stay chaotic and it will be terrible. We don't have to even think about this. Thank you.
Who next?
I will close. I will close on this note. Right. One of the most difficult things that will happen in Liberia will be the fight against corruption. Because if you're to just do your own evaluation or survey, each and every one of us on this platform want to protect our own. So when the law is to take its course, we will be resentful because either we want to protect our own against the law, or we simply feel like that individual should not be touched. And in that light, we cannot transform Liberia. If my mother is found to be corrupt, let her be prosecuted. Let the law take its course. If my dad stole from Liberia, whether it was in the 60s and it is found today, legally, let him be prosecuted. Let the examples be set. Until then, everything we are doing here, talking about having to push back, let's focus on the people need food right now. At the end of the day, the people will get food if we can quarantine, if we can limit the amount of stealing, corruption. We will have enough, just enough to go around. We will encourage investors in the country because at this point, the law will work. People will appreciate their investment because they now understand, guess what? Their investments are protected by the law. But unfortunately, this is not the case with most of us And I continue to include myself. I say most of us Liberians, because we rather protect our own devil. And as a result of that, the masses continue to suffer. Let us put aside our individual interest and look at Liberia from a bigger perspective. The nation. Let us prosecute those who are found to be corrupt. But it's unfortunate that the judiciary system is just as corrupt as anything else. So we find ourselves in chaos and the calamity we find ourselves in until we can find that precedent, that leader who would say, prosecute my mom if she's found guilty, or prosecute my father if he is found guilty. We would not get ourselves out of here. I showed you guys earlier, and I close on this note. President Boykai's relative was listed on the list that we spoke about earlier. You know what's going to happen? Nothing. Okay, make it marker of the people, make it marker of the system, make it marker of the people. We must start with ourselves. Let us evaluate ourselves as Liberian. Start with ourselves, and then we can go out to the rest of the world. And that's the reason why Alex Jones said earlier, let the UP government start from in-house and then take it to CDC. Until then, it will be considered witch hunt in all of their endeavors. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Lofa. Let me just and thank you for the kind words. But I would say this here, one of the most important things that have happened or is happening today, that's we have records now. When I see my colleagues, some of them come here and they claim, "Oh, I'm not supporting this person," or "I've," and therefore they go out of their way to defend what is wrong. We have the record. There will be some day you'll be running for representative or senator or something. And we know how to clip these things. Instead of fighting for the Liberian people, your brothers and sisters back there in the interior, your auntie, your uncle, who are we fighting? Who are we going on our way to defend? People who are privileged, people who have benefited from the government, who have exploited the people, built houses around. That's the people we're more concerned about, And that's what George Orwell said. If you find the people in society you can't criticize, okay, the exact quote, if you want to know who rules over you, look at who you are not allowed to criticize. In Liberia, we're not allowed to criticize Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, even though she brought the war, even though she herself admitted the corruption, nepotism, squander our all the opportunity in Liberia. We're not allowed to criticize Joseph Boakai, even though he was part of it, even though many of the ills, the mismanagement, the misappropriation, we're not allowed to criticize him. We're not allowed to criticize George Weah, even though resources from the country was squandered and used for his own personal gain. And I will give one instance here, which they all are guilty of. The code of conduct in Liberia says you are not allowed to take any gift more than $200 as a government official. Tell me one Liberian official here that would be clear on that. That's breaking the law. The law is the law. When George Weah goes and says that his friend gave him airplane that cost 10,000, 15,000 one trip, is that not breaking the law? When Borka or what his name, Jeremiah Koo goes and says, "Oh, I have on my friend plane," and that's not breaking the law. So the problem in Liberia is not the people. The problem in Liberia is us, the intellectual people, the people in America. We sit on platform, we see wrong, we support it once that we know that person or we support that person, they can do no wrong. There will be no investment in Liberia because of corruption. There will be no growth in Liberia because of corruption. There will be no development in Liberia because of corruption, and there will only be poverty, hunger, disease, chaos, and maybe the next generation will have the courage. They will not be like us. They will have some kind of integrity to call right what is right and call wrong what is wrong. but we have disappointed the people. We sit on platform, whether it's Spoon and many other platforms, whether it's newspapers, and we support our corrupt friends, people who we know. And you know what? Everybody will have to look at themselves in the mirror one day. There will be that day where your uncle or your niece will be in Liberia where, God forbid, they will have an accident, they will have to go to JFK. And because of the very corruption, the corrupt people you're supporting, they might not make it. So corruption might not have to hit you directly, but you got family there. I think there's some disease or part is spreading right now. Government don't have money to fix it, just like Ebola.
I think it's a monkeypox.
Monkeypox. So let us be careful how we speak against. I would rather err on the side of the people than err on the side of officials who are overpaid and who have undermined the instructors. So thank you very much. I didn't say much the last, so I kept my last comments. Again, everybody free to their opinion. I take responsibility to whatever I say. Anybody who wants to sue me, I will give you my address. Come and sue me so we can go to court and I can prove what I mean. Joseph Walker, Amara Kone, based on investigation and reports, they are corrupt people. Thank you very much.
Okay, can I close too? Let me close that. Yes, first, let me say this. A great show, guys. We have this kind of show from time to time. Yeah, we'll have the kind of show. It's good. But all we can say is that Liberia is fragile with all that's happened in the last 8 months in the country, with the tenure of people being removed, the targeting of seditious from their jobs and so forth. The last thing they want to happen to see you just show up on the former president's compound to say you want to search his house. The best to do it, if you have no bad intention, you say, look, GSA, if that car go through GSA to do it, they will work with his people, utility people, and so forth to handle that. Anything else, you reach out to the EPS details. Say, look, this is what I want to do. I want to see the former president and so forth. You do it through the right channel. You won't just go by surprise to him to do that. That means the intention is you have a different intention. If you want to do it by surprise, do it the right way. So it should be anything you got concern about. But just show up unknown there and all about it. Trust me, it will not. It won't. I'm telling you the truth. It won't just be the right way to do it. So let us not put the country into serious chaos. Liberia is fragile right now. It's not time to try to make anything of that nature to see it happen. Let us try to do the best to discourage anything from happening of that nature. In fact, I will get on the phone tomorrow or tonight, contact the justice minister and ask him. I'll be direct with him to ask him whether this is in the works or the case. And I think let them speak about it because it will not be the right thing. That's my point. Have a nice day, guys. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I hope you guys know you're all muted if you're trying to talk.
The Liberian people always make their own decision who they like to be the head. And we see it. They continue to make the same decision. We brought in Derek, we brought in Alexander Cummings. They took him to court. They went all around was saying things. Today, you like who you wanted. So deal with it. But I do not support the fact that they should search the president home. I think he was very generous and conceding, and I think Liberia peace should remain at stake. But thank you, guys. Have a good night, and we will see you tomorrow. Lofa, I'll see you tomorrow night.
Yeah, as of next week, I will start eating authentic Liberian homemade meal. The bogi, cassava leaves. And
you might have a good night.